Live on CBC, Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Ford of Canada, on behalf of Ford and Mercury dealers from coast to coast. Ahead and participating retailers and record companies in Canada. The Bank of Nova Scotia, with nearly 1,000 branches across Canada to serve you. Molson's, brewers of Molson Canadian Lager Beer.
I don't think anyone knows as much as I do how much Börje Salming means to our club. I know today in a meeting we discussed how it was going to be playing without him. We felt that we have a strong enough team to go out there and play exactly the same way that we've been playing throughout this series.
The Börje Salming injury is the main topic of conversation as the Stanley Cup quarterfinal series shifts back to Long Island. Tonight it's game number 5 from the Nassau Coliseum, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the New York Islanders. With us tonight, play-by-play commentator Bill Hewitt. With him in the booth, Brian McFarland. Joining me is an analyst, Bill Clement, from the Atlanta Flames. I'm your host, Dave Hodge, welcoming you to tonight's telecast. The series turned rough in game number 4, and the Leafs also made it just as close as it could be, tying it up at 2 victories apiece. Game 4 highlights from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. The Leafs, following on the heels of a 2-0 victory, go up in the second period with 2 very quick goals. The first one is set up by Jack Valaket, then a scramble, and then Börje Salming puts it in. No one knew at that point that Salming would not be around to finish the game. At the 3:53 mark in the second period, the Leafs are on top. 16 seconds after Salming's goal, Valaket again playing a part, setting up Stan Weir for the eventual winner. And the Leafs all of a sudden have a quick 2-0 lead. The Islanders get one back midway through the second period. Bob Nystrom tipping this shot past Mike Palmateer. The only goal the Islanders scored in the 2 games at Toronto. And then without Börje Salming, the Leafs eased the pressure and went on to win. Again, it was Stan Weir in a major role. Great setup pass to Pat Boutet. The Leafs win the game 3-1. But again, everyone is talking about the injured number 21. This is how the injury took place. Termed by most people accidental. Lorne Henning said he was trying to hook Börje Salming. Did not know Salming would fall right into Henning's stick. Salming out 5 to 7 days at least, flat on his back, bleeding in the eye and shattered sinus bone. So that's the situation. You heard Ian Turnbull talking about the Leafs and what they must do without Börje Salming. It's going to be tough, and the Islanders do have the home ice advantage. They have been tough on home ice, especially against the Toronto Maple Leafs, who have not won a game here in the Nassau Coliseum this season. They have to change that to go to the semifinals. There will be a lot of noise from these Islander fans tonight, spirit in the stands, and one of the most spirited New York Islanders talked with Brian McFarland prior to the game about how the Islanders feel.
Although he hasn't played in the first 4 games of the series, Billy Smith is known as an aggressive goaltender. Bill, give us an idea of the Islanders' attitude coming into this 5th game.
Well, so much my attitude is that we got to get a lot more chippier with them and get our sticks up like they have.
Yep.
Hopefully I do play, which isn't definite yet, because everybody knows I can give a cheap shot as well as anybody else. And
You admit it.
Oh, sure. That's my type of hockey. That's the way I like it.
How do the Islanders feel? Are they angry with the Leafs for this style of hockey?
Well, I think a few guys are angry, and I really think a few guys don't really know what to do. I think they're starting to realize what they have to do, and, they're just going to have to get out there and start working.
That's been an advantage to the Leafs. Now, the other night in Toronto, you came off the bench in a hurry and got involved in an altercation with Kurt Walker, right?
Yeah, well, he was about the only small guy I could find on the ice, so I thought I'd get to him before somebody else beat me.
Well, there are smaller ones on the club.
Yes, there are a few, but fortunately I saw him and he was left open, so somebody had to grab him.
Thank you, Billy Smith. Now let's go back to Dave Hodge.
Well, here's one person who hopes cheap shots are not the answer. We'll find out if there are 2 as we talk with Bill Clement of the Atlanta Flames. The series has become a rough one. What happens in game number 5? Does it continue that way?
Well, Dave, sometimes even when the air is full of electricity, games turn out to be relatively quiet. But in the case of these 2 teams, I really think we might see another rough game. I believe that both teams are ready for it, and if Billy Smith's comments are any indication of what is to happen, I might be right.
Bill is also going to be watching the Buffalo-Philadelphia game, and do you think your ex-teammates from the Flyers are ready to put the Sabres out of business?
Well, I think they'll be trying very hard to do that because I think they realize the importance of having a little rest before their next series starts. So when that game begins, I think they will come out charging with 17,077 Spectrum fans behind them in an attempt to send the Buffalo Sabres on an early summer vacation.
Got that attendance figure down, Pat. Haven't been there for a few years, but we'll be listening for Bill Clement's comments on both games, Toronto at Islanders and Buffalo at Philadelphia. We'll continue with our Stanley Cup playoff coverage and the opening face-off in just a moment.
I'm a music lover, but I'm no engineer. Right, Stanley? The last time I went shopping for stereo, I was so busy checking out the specifications that I didn't have time to listen to the music. So today, I brought Stanley along. He's an audiophile. Right, Stanley? He checked out the specs while I concentrated on the music. And we both agreed on Sansui. Beautiful engineering, beautiful music. Sansui. There's even music in the name. Right, Stanley? Stanley?
Born to challenge the competition, Z7 took on our tough test tracks. New Zephyr Z7 from Lincoln Mercury. Now Z7 will take on the world with rack and pinion steering, wide mount strut suspension, front discs, and Z7 is energy engineered for space and mileage with a very competitive price. New Zephyr Z7, born to challenge.
Hello again, everybody. Brian McFarland with Bill Hewitt from our broadcast location, and a noisy one it is here at the Nassau County Coliseum on Long Island. What an ovation the Islanders got as they skated out here tonight, Bill.
Yes, it's certainly been very enthusiastic, and it's going to be a lot louder before this is over.
So you see our camera down at the Zamboni entrance. And one key player for the Trache is Brian Trache of the Islanders, and he told me before the game his line has to get going against the Leafs. 2 points for Brian Trache so far. He says we're just going to have to work a little harder. So far, some tenacious checking from the likes of Sittler and Jones have held the big line of the Islanders in check. And the solid hitting of Brian Glennie was a feature of Sunday night's game in Toronto. And he'll have more of a burden on his shoulders tonight with Borje Salming in hospital in Toronto, out for approximately 10 days. If the Leafs should advance, Salming could be back for more playoff action. So the spotlight shines on Glennie and Turnbull and the rest of the Leaf defense tonight. And we're almost set for Game 5 of this important series between the Leafs and the Islanders. It's all even. It's 2 games apiece. And time now for the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you please rise and join us in singing our national anthems.
far. Let's meet the trio of striped shirts who will be handling this important playoff game tonight.
Hello, I'm Ron Wicks, the referee for tonight's game. I'm from Sudbury, Ontario, and I live in Brampton, Ontario.
I'm one of the linesmen for tonight's game, John D'Amico. I live in Rexdale, Ontario.
I'm linesman Ron Finn from Georgetown, Ontario.
Well, now we're going set at center ice to start this first period of the fifth game. And it's Darryl Sittler, Ron Ellis, Andy Maloney, Trevor Johansson, and Ian Turnbull. For the New York Islanders, Ryan Trottier, number 19, to Dennis Potvin, number 5. Over for Dave Lewis, up at center ice, a long shot into the corner, over to the far wing. Nice from his shot, he fired it over top of the net. Lewis's shot, at low, right in front, another shot, that stops. Puck is loose, and Ian Turnbull and Gillies bump together. Shot back at center ice. Gillies and Sittler. Gillies gets it back, and Maloney and Gillies mixed it up with Ellis there. Play is called Ellis and Gillies.
Roger Nielsen started Ron Ellis on right wing in place of Lanny McDonald tonight. Al Arbor went with Nystrom, Trottier, and Gillies. Gillies collided with Sittler and then got a stick up against Ron Ellis.
Nice sticking on Ellis by Gillies, and the Leafs will have the odd man. And we're in the first minute.
And Bill, that followed an excellent scoring opportunity by the Islanders as the rolling puck bounced crazily right in front of Mike Palmatier. They're off to a good start tonight.
Not only has it been a good start, but it's been a noisy one. And Fontenay faceoff is cleared by Williams down the ice into his own zone, and Ian Turnbull goes back for it, back to the net. Ian Turnbull up with a pass to Sittler. Lanny McDonald is playing at the blue line. It's over the line for Sittler. Trying to set it up in front. And Jack Belichick stole the puck, but hitting the boards by Dennis Potvin. Williams rolling it in front. Grabbed by Lewis, but not out. Turnbull takes the shot high. Belichick has it right in front. Knocked down, and Westfall shoots it down the ice. Back for it is Lanny McDonald. Back to the net. Leads for the odd man. Westfall and Turnbull bumping together. Eddie Westfall jammed against the boards out of the net, and he holds it.
Well, Bill, we're going to be bringing you highlights from the Forum. Let's go to Montreal now, where the Canadians have opened quickly against the Detroit Red Wings.
Now Canadians coming back. It's Gainey at center, hopping in over the Detroit line. Gainey putting on the brakes, out in front it goes. Reach angle, scores! Red Fishers didn't have that effect.
And from the face-off, it's Ian Turnbull coming to center ice. Leads for the man advantage over the line. And it's knocked back out to center. Mike Pellet. A pass for Dan Maloney. That's over the red line. A race for it. And it's touched. And it'll be called back into the Leaf zone for Aitken.
So at the Montreal Forum, Rajan Uhl has scored for Montreal. They lead the Red Wings 1-0, and we'll be bringing you highlights from Montreal throughout the game here on the island, and also the game Buffalo at Philadelphia. Eddie Westfall back in the lineup for the Islanders tonight after being out for all the action in the early part of this series with a bruised knee suffered in a practice collision with Brian Trottier.
Westfall has the draw, got it to Henning. Henning clears it back to Hart at center. Hart and Marshall goes back to Marshall, number 6. 41 seconds left in the penalty. Puck goes down the ice. Ian Turnbull Up for Dan Maloney. Maloney over the blue line, over the red line at center. Shot the puck into the corner. Lanny McDonald goes after it. Left it to Sittler to Mike Pellick. Over for Turnbull. The Sittler right in front, and the shot was blocked. Cleared by Henning down the edge. Ian Turnbull goes back for it. The pass goes right back to him, and he brings it up over center right. Over on the right wing to Lanny McDonald, and Sittler intercepted. Got back by Henning. Henning takes the shot, and that's wide. Eddie Westphal from behind the net into the corner, covered by Lanny McDonald. Sittler then to Mike Pellick. Pellick drives it off the boards. The penalty is up, and the Islanders are back at full strength. Off the ice for Bob Bourne. Over the line on the right side to Nystrom, number 23. He's bumped. Williams into the corner. Butler centered it in front. Lenny off Williams. And Lenny pokes at it. The puck is loose. Goes to the blue line, but not out. Wozicki kept it in. Williams bumped him, and it's Trevor Johansson. To Jimmy Jones, number 16 for Williams. Into Islander territory. Langresh clearing it on the board. Stopped by Butler for Williams. Williams given a bump, knocked down. Cleared out on the left wing to Bob Bourne. Up to center right. Then it's Cutman over to number 23. Johnny Nystrom, and that shot was wide, and it goes down, and they have a face-off to center. From the Nassau Coliseum, this is Stanley Cup 78.
I'll get it, Daddy. Hi, Mike.
Hi. Ready?
It's when your children are growing up that you realize you're not getting any younger either, and that it's time to review your own plans for the future. Talk it over with a Mutual Life of Canada agent.
Hey, Mr. Wilson.
Hi, Darrell. Have a good time.
We understand.
Life is a mutual affair.
From the face-off with Merrick out there, Harris and Howitt. Ian Turnbull's pass for Ron Ellen. Ron Ellen over the line, takes his shot, and cannot in front. That covers up. Ellis is bumped. And there'll be a face-off in the Islanders zone to the left.
We have Randy Carlisle out there seeing his first playoff action this year. He said he wasn't uptight before the game. Didn't really feel any additional pressure because of the injury to Boreas Alming, and Carlisle himself is coming off an injury suffered on that Florida vacation when he became involved with a golf cart and suffered a severe gash on the leg.
Randy Carlisle, number 23. George Ferguson, number 10, with Ellis on the right wing. Pat Boutet on the left. Comes back to Randy Carlisle, a shot. Nice save there by Resch. Ferguson went to the board. He's bumped by Westfall. Kicks it in to the corner. Takes his man against the boards, and play is called.
Al Arbor was saying after the game in Toronto the other night that the Islanders can play it just as mean and nasty as the Leafs and still combine that type of hockey with a good offense. They're off to a torrid start here tonight.
And we have no score with 15:42 remaining in the first period. Now the Islanders, led by Joey Hart, up to center right. Got it over the line. Palmatier gets it behind the goal. Randy Carlisle over for Pat Boutet. Brought up by Turnbull. Turnbull for Ellis, and Ellis had to slow down. The puck off the stick to Jerry Hart. Jerry Hart for Bob Bourne. Hit by Randy Carlisle. Ferguson for Turnbull. Ian Turnbull back to the net. Starts out. A pass for Pat Boutet for Ron Ellis. And that is offside. Inside his own blue line over the checkered line at center.
Ronnie Ellis, who started the game on a line with Darrell Sittler tonight, goes off for a rest. The only remaining Leaf from the last Stanley Cup winner, that's 1967, in an upset over the Montreal Canadiens.
Darrell Sittler, Lanny McDonald, and Danny Maloney. Trottier, Gillies, and now it's number 22, Mike Bossy. Goes in behind the Leafs net. into the corner. And by Gillies. And there's a penalty for charging.
Now Gillies gets his stick up with Lanny McDonald. He charged into the boards and gets his second consecutive penalty. Went off at 44 seconds for high sticking. Now he goes for charging.
Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island.
Disco Fever, featuring Miko and Star Wars. Tavares.
Must be missing an angel.
Donna Summer. In the stores now. 2 record sets, $6.99. Tape or cassette, $7.99. Keep your Saturday Night Fever alive all week long with Disco Fever. Fever.
Play just underway as the puck goes down in Islander territory. Maloney gets in there. Right back by the Islanders up the center. That's Lewis shooting it in wide of the net. And it's Lanny McDonald with the puck behind the goal. Lanny McDonald to Ian Turnbull. A pass over on the right side to Darryl Sittler. He's over the line. Fakes the shot, gives it to Maloney. Maloney took a shot. That was knocked down. Cleared down the ice. And the Leafs have to go back for it. Lanny McDonald back there for it. McDonald, a pass up to Maloney on the left wing at center. Shot it over to Sittler. Sittler's going right in. He shoots. And a good save by Resch. Ian Turnbull trying to keep it in, does. Gives it to Maloney. Maloney's fan on his shot. And it's flipped off and cleared out by Bert Marshall. Palmatier to Lanny McDonald behind the net. Lanny McDonald with no score in this first period. And 40 seconds left in the penalty. Up he comes. Leafs have had the advantage twice so far in this first period. Cleared in back in the net. Resch flips it off the glass. Goes over to Westphal. He tries to get down the ice. Lanny McDonald again. This time to Turnbull. To Darryl Sittler. Over the blue line. Into the corner. Bell. Andy Maloney. To Williams. For Sittler. Centered it right in front. And Williams was there. Turnbull breaks it up. Maloney controlling it along the board. Kicks it for Turnbull. Turnbull flips it into the corner. They're changing on the go. Gary Hart bringing it out to Gillies, who's back on the ice. Gillies up the center, long shot. Palmatier over to Pat Boutette. Out over the blue line to center, down to the Islander blue line, and it's Dennis Potvin, number 5. Up for Gillies. Number 9 goes to center. And he has to go back as Trottier had gone over the blue line ahead of him. Now he gives it away to Pat Boutette. He gave it in turn to Bossy. Bossy over to Lewis. Lewis gets it up to center. Jimmy Jones and Trottier with Trevor Johansson. Back to Brian Glenning. Or Trevor Johansson. Out at center. And it's Potvin. Into Gillies. Over to Trottier. And it was intercepted by Johansson and shot down the ice. That'll be icing. Dave Lewis touches it. Icing is the call. This is Stanley Cup 78 from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island.
Yeah, I should have got another sports car, huh?
Yeah. Sports car, Brendan. Imagine the size of that thing after a sports car. The seats and the dash. You know, for your next car, you should get 4 doors. Dark. Get a pinstripe car. You made the right choice.
You made an executive decision, fella.
For years, Brendan and the boys have been talking cars over a little Molson Export Ale.
Oh, I'm not getting old. Why else is he getting old?
Bernie, he is not getting old. He's getting, what would you call so? He's getting,
mature. He's getting mature.
It keeps on tasting great.
And we're back live here at the Nassau Coliseum as we get set to face off. Trottier, Bossy, and Gillies. Abe Lewis and Dennis Potvin. The Leafs have Jones, Butler, Boutette, Brian Glennie, and Trevor Johansson. Gillies now to face off against Jerry Butler. Gillies won the draw. Came back to Lewis along the boards as Butler covered Trottier. Now then Gillies and Johansson bump. Gillies after the Leaf player along the boards, and Butler looks, and Gillies is there again.
Well, it's not hard to pick the most aggressive player on the ice in this game so far. Big Mark Gillies scored a career high of 35 goals and 85 points this season, but held to 1 goal so far in this playoff series, but has 11 in 46 games, and he's got 15 penalty minutes in the little over 4 games played so far in this series.
11 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the first period. No score. Randy Carlisle, Ian Turnbull, Jack Balaket, Stan Weir, and Ron Ellis. Wayne Merrick, Gary Howitt, and Bill Harris, number 15. Puck is shot by the Islanders, right to Turnbull. Ian Turnbull shoots it out and down the ice. Gary Hart going back for it. Ellis is with him. Down went Hart with Ellis on top, but he has touched the puck and it's icing.
Hart getting up slowly. Ellis racing down with him. The Islanders are 16-6 in 22 playoff games here at the Nassau Coliseum. Hart has 10 career playoff points, 46 games. Battler all the way for the Islanders. I was a little disappointed in this crowd when we heard the booing for the Canadian national anthem tonight. I don't mind saying that. Otherwise, they're a very spirited audience here.
We're all set to go now. Wayne Merrick against Darryl Sittler, and Balaket knocked it to Ian Turnbull. Turnbull back to the net, being watched by Merrick. Right onto Harris's stick. Harris rolled it right in front. It comes back to Jerry Hart. Here comes the screenshot. That's deflected wide. Cleared by Ellis to Turnbull. Turnbull got it over to Balaket and out to center right. Beckman Pearson getting it up at center. Number 11, Wayne Merrick shoots it in. Howitt and Randy Carlisle pump together. The puck is loose. Howitt and Turnbull took him to the board. Gets it loose to Harris. Harris is covered by Balaket. It came out in front. And down goes Stan Weir to center. Up with Ellis. Over his stick. Offside.
Bill, there's been another goal at the Montreal Forum as the Red Wings are fighting back against Montreal. Let's go there now and find out what happened.
Now Nedomansky has Libet on the other side. Nedomansky scores!
Serge Savard was caught up the ice red on that play, so it was a 2-on-1 break in the classic set.
So we'll be showing you all the goals at the Forum tonight as Nedomansky ties it up at the Forum.
It's Howitt getting it up at center to Merrick, who had to go back to his own blue line, to Jerry Hart. Up at center. Walker's out there now with Ferguson and Williams. Williams took his shot, and that's high into the corner. Walker covers Hart, down went Walker. Comes up at center. Merrick over the blue line with Howitt. Howitt shot one wide of the net. Pearson shot it in front. Merrick gets it back, and it's Ferguson covering his check. Cleared up by Walker. He knocked in again, and it's offside at the Maple Leaf blue line.
Scoreless tie, first period here at the Nassau County Coliseum as we look at Gary Howitt. And Jim Gregory, the general manager of the Leafs, would like us to send best wishes and a speedy recovery to his star defenseman, Boreas Salming, back in hospital in Toronto, in Wellesley Hospital. He won't be able to watch the game tonight. And Jim says all his teammates are thinking about him as they go into Game 5 on Long Island.
Mike Kazicki, number 21 at center. Bob Bourne, number 14 on the left wing. And we have Bob Nystrom on the right side. Lanny McDonald comes out on the right wing as Kurt Walker had to leave the ice for repairs. Ryan Glennie in the corner. A pass to Ferguson. Ferguson is bumped. The puck came to the blue line, but not out. Dennis Putman gets his shot. And that just steered by Palmatier wide of the open corner. Goes to the corner. They hold it there for another faceoff.
Oh, that Dennis Potvin can make things happen. There's Brian Glennie. A lot of pressure on him tonight. 1 playoff point in 25 games. Well, they didn't hire him as a scorer. But Potvin raced in there, and Kazicki almost tipped it by Palmatier.
I'd like to see his hitting record.
It's a lot better. Got a goal once, and he said, well, the manufacturers pay me not to endorse their hockey sticks.
Darryl Sittler, Lanny McDonald, and Maloney as the big line for the Islanders is out there again. Brian Trottier, Mark Gillies, and Mike Bossy. Kept in by Dennis Potvin. Cleared by Glennie up on the wing. Maloney to Darryl Sittler. Over the blue line, a long pass for McDonald. Stopped by Gillies. He's covered. Sittler gets loose. Trying to get it over to Maloney. Maloney gets his shot. It goes behind the net. Shot by Lewis over onto the fireboards. A pass up for Trottier. Stopped by Mike Pellick. For Lanny McDonald. Stopped by Lewis to Trottier. Ryan Trottier. Over the line. Dropped it back for Lewis. Lewis stopped by Sittler. Then kept in a shot. Palmatier holds on and will have a face-off. With the score, Toronto nothing and the Islanders nothing. This is Stanley Cup 78.
Now hear this. The months are coming. Return to your cottages quickly.
If every summer night seems like a battle you never win, then fight back with a secret weapon. Strong, effective STP insect repellent killers. Battle the bugs with STP. Take command.
Available at these stores.
All set to go. A new line out there now. Kazicki with Bob Bourne and Nystrom. Jimmy Jones, Jerry Butler, and Tiger Williams. Ian Turnbull and Trevor Johansson. Just 2 penalties so far in this first period. Certainly very tame compared to the last game in Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Comes back to Jerry Hart. A shot. That's wide of the net. Williams brings it out to center ice with Jones and Butler over the line. Williams into the corner. Hit by Marshall. They jam there. Play is called. And we get a face-off.
Another goal at the Forum tonight. Lapointe has scored for Montreal. Let's go to the Forum quickly and find out how it happened.
Robinson over for Lapointe. They're over the line. Lafleur is getting in front. Here's Chuck shooting it. Far to right. He shoots and they score! Lapointe.
Power play goal for the Canadians. Guy Lapointe.
So it's 2-1. The Montreal Canadiens leading Detroit, and here on the island, scoreless with 8:38 to play, first period.
Little problem with the glass on that hit with Williams and Bert Marshall.
A couple of heavyweights going in there. They had a gate problem here in the game the other night. Eddie Westphal, so anxious to get back in the lineup. He was really worried that Al Arbor might talk him out of playing here tonight in Game 5. Gets a tremendous cheer from the crowd. On the scoreboard, Philadelphia's Bobby Clark has scored early in the first period on the power play, so the Flyers lead the Buffalo Sabres 1-0 in the first period, and the Sabres facing elimination in that series with the Flyers. So we have a slight delay here, but not for any roughhouse tactics or fighting. It's a physical problem at the end of the rink. And there's Bobby Nystrom, who is the central figure in the scrap with Tiger Williams the other night. The accusation was that Nystrom took a little nip out of Tiger's cheek. Bobby Nystrom would not talk about it tonight.
This Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island.
Here they come, the popular Ford Explorers. There's no better time to buy than now during the 11th annual Ford Explorers celebration. Special edition Ford pickups that come with special paint, mag-style wheel covers, and special cab trim. The value adds up as you add on. Pick options like power steering, Cruise-O-Matic. You'll get great value on these tough Ford Explorers. Get down to your Ford or Mercury dealer now before they're all gone.
Live from the Nassau County Coliseum. First period, Toronto and the Islanders scoreless. And in 18 of the 25 games played so far, Bill, the team scoring the first goal has come out a winner. And as for Toronto, their record, 5 out of the 6 games played, they've scored first.
Right, Brian, and there's still 8 minutes and 38 seconds to play in this first period. I think the fact that the Islanders were able to kill off those first 2 penalties to Gillies, first at 44 seconds and then at 5:07, maybe an indication that the Islanders have tightened up a little bit.
Well, they've still got to worry about their own power play because the Leaf penalty killing, I couldn't recall. I was thinking back over the years coming down here, and I couldn't recall when I'd seen better penalty killing in a playoff series. And talking to John McClellan before the game, I said, when was the last time you saw penalty killing like the Leafs have displayed? And he said, I guess I'd have to go back to Kluke and Metz.
That's for sure.
That's going back a long way. Get ready, Bill. We're going to get our picture taken here, I think. This is a great place to do a hockey game. We're not too far from the ice. We're right in with the crowd, and we've got a lively crowd here tonight. And they got a tremendous ovation, the Islanders did, when they stepped on the ice. You just couldn't hear yourself think. We've got 8:38 to play still as this delay.
I thought we were, I thought they might start running at one another at the beginning of the first period, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way.
Well, there was a lot of discussion about that. The referee-in-chief, Scotty Morrison, is here. We'll be talking with him later. And I know that Roger Nielsen was talking with him about the incident, Paul Matier and Howitt the other night, and wondering, what the protection should be for a goaltender and what really constitutes a third man in if a player comes in to protect the goaltender, and whether that might be construed sometime or applied as a game tactic. So there is a lot of discussion about some of the incidents that have taken place in this series. The Islanders have won 6 of their 9 playoff series. As we look at Al Arbor, he followed Phil Goyette and Earl Ingerfield as the Islanders' 3rd coach. Very popular man here on Long Island.
We have 8 minutes and 38 seconds to play in this first period, and both goalkeepers have looked very sharp.
There was some speculation that Billy Smith might get the starting assignment for the Islanders tonight. I know he'd like to see some playoff action. He likes the rough going, as we heard earlier. But so far, as you mentioned, Bill, it hasn't been a rough game. And let's hope it stays the way it is, because we've seen some good scoring chances already by both clubs. Randy Carlyle getting his first taste of postseason activity for the Leafs after suffering that injury. Bruce Boudreau, also injured, is here tonight, telling me that he's planning a postseason marriage and to marry Gibb in Toronto and then a honeymoon in Puerto Rico. Boudreau's multicolored sports shirt came in for some attention in the dressing room. Turnbull said it looks like it's portraying the 18 toughest golf holes in the world. Some of the signs around the Nassau County Coliseum. One directed at the Leaf netminder, Mike Paul Matier. Larry Hart has his own fan club. The crowd standing now, conversing one with the other. Some of them have left for the concession stands while this delay goes on and on. I don't really know what the problem is down there at the glass or the end boards.
I think you'll find that the hinge that has the glass married to the boards has come loose, and they haven't been able to get it back together.
Well, they really can't terminate the period and play it as part of the second period because we have 8:38 to play. And the officials now are rather anxious about the length of time that is being taken to remedy the situation, the problem. Talk about Randy Carlisle coming back to action for the Leafs, and Bruce Boudreau remaining out with a shoulder injury. Borje Salming's eye injury suffered Sunday in Toronto means that he'll be missing for, well, they say at least 10 days. Tiger Williams burning bright. You will get destroyed tonight. Sure that lady didn't hang the sign.
No, and I think it'll be very interesting to see what reaction this delay has on the two teams as when we are ready to resume play, because they really were just getting warmed up and they were almost getting into a pattern of how they were going to play it. And now that's all been changed because of this delay.
Stan Weir been a very handy guy to have around for Roger Neilson. 5-year pro, served his first stint in the minor leagues this year, and it seemed to bounce back from it very well. Leafs, of course, led by the captain, Darryl Sittler, had 117 points over the regular season, 45 goals, 72 assists, 100 penalty minutes. There's Chico Resch. Reporters like this guy. He always is an interesting conversationalist, comes up with a good quote. A 2.16 average in Stanley Cup play. 28 of the Islanders' 48 victories in 77-78. They purchased him along with a handful of other players from the Montreal Canadiens organization. Pretty good purchase. I'm going to ask you for the story of your life, Bill.
Well, they're combing over now by the boards. We're using a sprayer. No, you can't turn your head from one end of the rink to the other unless you're doing something. And now they've got the foam treatment out over by the Leaf bench.
Montford, our cameraman, just next to us, taking shots of the crowd.
Referee Ron Wex is not leaving that area, and now he's happy it's all ready to go. We're all ready to go.
You can relax now, Al. That's a good shot of the press right in behind us, and the crowd waiting to get on camera just in back of us. There's Eddie Milliken, our statistician. And here we are. You can see our location right here, and how deep in the crowd we are, and it's a good thing they're friendly. They're not restless at all tonight, not so far. So we're ready to resume play. No score in the hockey game, 8:38 to play, first period.
Darryl Sittler with Williams, Ellis, Johansson, and Turnbull. Eddie Westfall has gone to center ice with Gillies. Trache, and now Gillies is leaving the ice. Bob Bourne is out there. Marshall. Bob Nystrom. And from the face-off, the puck in behind the net. Jerry Hart with it. Up on the left wing for Bob Bourne. Bourne gets it over on the side. Marshall for Eddie Westfall. Eddie Westfall flipped it at center. Stopped by Turnbull. Ian Turnbull gets it over the line. Hart gets it out again. Bourne just shot it to an open wing. There was nobody there. And Bourne was knocked down by Ellis. Then he gets the puck. And he was hit by Trevor Johansson. Ian Turnbull and Trache covered by Johansson. Going to be a penalty there. A hooking penalty to Johansson, the first Leaf penalty.
Trevor Johansson, number 4, the rookie Leaf defenseman, goes to the box, And the first test now for the Leaf penalty killers. Watch it now. Trottier steals the puck right here, and Johansson cuts him off at the pass. Hooking at 11:55.
From the faceoff, it comes back to Dennis Potvin. Over it goes to Stephen Pearson. Back to Dennis Potvin. A shot, and Palmateer stopped that. Face-off in the circle to the right of Mike Palmateer.
Palmateer and the Leaf penalty killers have kept the Islanders to 2 power play goals in 17 man advantage situations.
Comes back to Dennis Potvin. Dennis Potvin. Over to Bossy. Bossy right over to Gillies, and Gillies couldn't get control of the puck. Lenny was checked. Gillies lost his stick. Pearson gets it over to Trottier. Trottier in front. Gillies took a whack at it. Kept in by Pearson to Dennis Potvin. Over it goes to Pearson. Back to Potvin. Potvin shoots. Caught easily by Mike Palmateer, and he holds onto it.
Gillies is the tough man to move on the power play. He's so strong in front of that net. They'll move him in close and let Bossy roam a little freer.
Trottier against Jimmy Jones. And they didn't put their sticks down on the ice properly, and they're waved out of the circle by John D'Amico. From the faceoff, Trottier to Potvin to Pearson. Pearson over to Trottier. Trottier tried to get it in front, knocked down by Pearson. Over to Trottier again to Pearson. Back to Trottier, over to Dennis Potvin. To Bossy, a shot. Gillies a shot. Another shot. That went wide of the corner. Bossy's after it. He's got it. Back to Pearson. Pearson shoots. Knocked down. In front. Picked up and shot down the ice by Jimmy Jones. 44 seconds remaining in Johansson's penalty. 6:45 remaining in the first period. No score in the game. Here comes Trottier over the Leaf line. Into the corner, tries to slow it down, gets it to Potvin, over to Bourne, and to Pearson, right for Dennis Potvin, back of the net. It's Trottier. Dennis Potvin drove it wide. Stephen Pearson keeps it in, and he holds it against the board, and play is called. Jimmy Jones hurt his hand.
Jones went racing over to the boards and may have injured his finger or his hand. Perhaps jammed it up against the boards. Mike Bossy led the NHL with 25 power play goals, but Palmateer saved the Leafs there with a couple of classy stops. He looks very cool, very confident, very quick tonight. Bossy also was clipped with the man advantage situation prevailing.
Gazicki with Bourne and Nystrom as the puck is shot down in Islander territory. No scores. 9 seconds left in this penalty to Johansson. Islanders bringing the puck up, led by Dennis Potvin to center. Over the blue line, Johansson is back out on the ice. Johansson cleared it, but not out. Kept in by Bourne, and it's poked out on a nice play by Randy Carlyle. Stephen Pearson clearing past to Dennis Potvin. Dennis Potvin up at the blue line, stopped by Lanny McDonald. And it's a delayed whistle offside as Sittler was still inside the Islander blue line.
Well, Lanny McDonald would like to get rid of that bird cage protecting the injured nose. It does hamper his vision just enough to throw some of his shots off the mark. 15 Stanley Cup goals to his credit so far.
Wayne Merrick, number 11 at center for the Islanders. Howitt, number 8. And Harris. As Lanny McDonald gets over the line, gives it to Dan Maloney. Maloney is given a bump. Puck goes to Maloney, trying to get out in front. And back of the net for Howitt. Howitt, number 8, checked by Sittler. Danny Maloney is shot. And a good save there by Rush. Cleared out and down the ice. Trevor Johansson goes back for it. Cleared it, but not out. Wayne Merrick got all tangled up. Got it back. stick to Lanny McDonald. To Darryl Sittler, over the line, takes his shot. Resch stopped that. Maloney another try. Maloney is bumped, and Resch covers up. And Maloney
and the Leafs in the corner. The officials move in quickly.
And that's the first indication of the notice.
Well said.
4 minutes, 56 seconds remaining in the first period. No score.
Dangerous Dan. Crowd chanting, Eddie Westfall. Out he comes.
Ian Turnbull comes out to replace Brian Glennie with Trevor Johansson. Same lines remain out there, except Eddie Westfall. Here comes back to Turnbull. Here comes the shot. Resch knocked that down. Maloney trying to get his shot. Jerry Hart goes back to the net. Over on the far wing, gets it up to center right. Over the line for Westfall, intercepted by Turnbull. Turnbull to Sittler. Sittler over the blue line. Sittler still with it. Takes his shot. Maloney tried to deflect it. Goes loose. The Islanders have it. Harris up the center. Over the blue line. Fakes the shot. Still has it. Then he handed it to Lenny McDonald who had difficulty. And it goes sliding down the ice. McDonald and Howard. Howard gets the gate. Trevor Johansson was there. Oh, we have a penalty. Live for the Nassau Coliseum, the Stanley Cup playoff.
Introducing the patented Mark collar from Arrow. Revolutionary, and that's fact. It's the first collar ever shaped to fit the human neck. Until now, men's collars have been cut like a tube. The Mark's ingenious shaping is like a cone. Result, a comfort like you've never experienced before. A new, crisp look with the neckband out of sight. The patented Mark collar. Only by Arrow.
Gary Howard in the box for charging against Lanny McDonald. 15:45 the time. Here it is on the replay.
Play just underway. Puck shot down into Islander territory into the corner. Islanders play it down the ice. The Leafs have to go back for it. Ian Turnbull, no score. 1:40 left in the penalty. Ian Turnbull to Pat Fouchette. A long shot off the board. Williams hit into the board, the same place where they had the problem. Play is called. Williams and Westfall.
Eddie Pearing in his 88th career playoff game and a penalty killing role now going to the bench. Howard has now got 26 minutes in penalties in this series, the same total as Tiger Williams of the Leafs. They're the leaders.
1 minute and 25 seconds remaining in Howard's penalty. 3:40 in the first period. We have no score in the game. We have Sittler. Alexander is going to take the face-off. Our play now is with Lanny McDonald back. Taken by the Islanders, and it's Dave Lewis coming up to center right. Over the line, a screen shot by Henning, and it was covered up by Mike Palmateer.
Lorne Henning and Westfall doing the penalty killing. Henning, I was in the dressing room after the game the other night. He felt very badly. It was obvious about the accidental hit on Borja Salming that put him in hospital. It's only 6 penalty minutes all season long. Couldn't remember when he was last in a fight.
Lanny McDonald, number 7, behind the Leaf net. 1:05 remaining in the penalty as Lanny McDonald had it handed back, then a quick pass to Sittler at center. Sittler's over the line, trying to cut in, goes for the corner, back to Lanny McDonald. Lanny McDonald to Sittler. Sittler trying to set up Lanny McDonald. And for Valaket, taken off the puck. Sittler back to Turnbull, to Lanny McDonald. Back to Turnbull. Turnbull shoots one. Knocked down. Gets it again, and that is Wade, and Henning comes down. One man back. Then Williams gets back as well, and Henning shot into the corner. Picked up by Henning again. Williams takes him out. Allicat covered by Henning. Williams passed it back. Nobody there. 16 seconds left in the penalty as Darryl Sittler comes to center. Over the line. Takes the shot. Knocked down. Puck is slipped outside the blue line as Sittler had directed the puck with his glove when the shot was fired, and so it comes outside the blue line.
Quick call and a good call by referee Ron Wicks. The face-off comes outside the line. Sittler shoveled it. Got 2:20 left, first period. On the scoreboard now, let's see what's happening. Montreal leading Detroit 2-1, second period. LaPointe and Newell for Montreal, Nedomansky for the Red Wings. Bobby Clark has scored for Philadelphia over Buffalo.
Jimmy Jones getting a chance, and he passed, and it was intercepted by Bert Marshall. He lost to the Butler. Jimmy Jones, he's knocked off the puck by Howard, and the Islanders are back at full strength. That's for Jerry Hart. Over the blue line. Got it wide. It goes into the corner. Trevor Johansson with it. Up for Jerry Butler. And for Jones. Pache. Then to Gilly. Gilly shoots. Amateur stopped that. And it's driven down the ice. And that'll be brought back for icing. And we have 1 minute and 39 seconds remaining in the first period. No score.
The Leafs clearing it quickly down the ice after Palmateer made the save. Coming up in the first intermission, Showdown 78. And tonight, to prove you can't keep a good man down, it'll be Borja Salming of the Leafs versus Guy Lapointe of Montreal on Showdown 78. Don't miss it, first intermission.
And they face off. It's Pat Boutette, number 15, up the center. A long shot. Resch steered that into the corner. Bert Marshall right onto Jimmy Jones' stick. Oh, and a good save on Jones. He's back of the net. Bert Marshall let it go to Jerry Hart. Back to Marshall. Back to Hart. Up to Gilly. Gilly, Pache, and Bossy. They shoot the puck in. Back of the net. Stopped by Palmateer. Trevor Johansson. Then to Pat Boutette. Pat Boutette cheated off by Bossy. Goes to Brian Glennie. Over to Johansson. Less than a minute to go in the first period. Gilly and Jones bumped together. It's stolen by Ellis. He's going in alone. He's still got it. Right in alone. He shoots. Oh, and he shot it high and wide. Ellis got it high. Too high. Back for the Islanders. And they're stopped at the blue line. Ronnie Ellis came within an ace of giving the Leafs the lead. Back to the net. There's an elbow and a high stick. 2 penalties. Johansson's going into the penalty box, and so is Dennis Potvin, Brian.
Well, the Islanders haven't made many mistakes. They've been playing the man very well, but they got a little sloppy there, and Ellis almost took advantage and scored. Now we have Howard. Potvin, number 5.
2 minutes for elbow. Time and penalty is 19:31. Islanders penalty number 5. Dennis Potvin, 2 minutes for high stick. Time and penalty 19:31.
And Johansson for elbowing. But Ellis was the story of the last shift. Around one defenseman at the blue line, around another going in, and Resch just got a little bit of that puck and it went up over the net. He had Boutette trailing on the play. But he made the right move. Instead of passing, he really, I think, should have gone for the goal, and Boutette would have been there for any rebound, but the puck went high over the net.
Harris out there with Nystrom as the teams are even at 5 aside. Ian Turnbull, a pass to Mike Pellick up at center, a pass over the line, intercepted by Bill Harris of the Islanders at his own blue line. A pass over to Jerry Hart. He just shoots it in. Palmateer gloves that, holds it with 12 seconds remaining in the first period and still no score. We have Brian Glennie. Ian Turnbull is number 2. Williams, 22, and Sittler, 27. Harris, Nystrom, Hart, and Stephen Pearson. Cleared off the boards by the Leafs out to center ice, down to the blue line. Pearson's pass to Hart with 3 seconds remaining. Just shoots it over to the right wing, and there goes the horn. And the first period ends with Williams and Harris over near the board, but it didn't develop. The teams are leaving the ice. And so the score at the end of the first period, Toronto Maple Leafs nothing, the New York Islanders nothing.
Hold it, it's on my foot.
Marty, why did you put it on your foot?
Cute.
Marty, I bet you're really handy around the house. Will we ever get this thing in? Come on. Okay. Let's get a little muscle into it.
Wait, I got it. This is going to give me the strength of 3 men here.
Okay, 1, 2. Did you bring your beer down? Yeah, I'm going to tell you where it is as soon as we get the raft in the water.
Exactly.
Come on. 1, 2. Okay, give it a push. Go on in the middle.
First chance every summer, Marty and the boys get the old raft back in the water and treat themselves to a little Molson Export Ale.
We got the beer and you got no paddle. Oh, we're going up to the cottage. Stay with the ship. See you, Marty.
Molson Export Ale. It keeps on tasting great.
Hey there with that booming shop.
Grow with us.
Hey there making that big stop. Grow with us.
Scotiabank Hockey College, where kids get playing tips and news from the experts and learn the good things about saving right now. No membership fee. Just open a high-interest Scotiabank Hockey College savings account. Hockey College, only at Scotiabank.
Come to Scotiabank and grow with us. Grow with us. Grow with us. Grow with us.
First period, the penalty total much less than in Game 4. The only thing disruptive about that first period was the fact that there was something wrong with the boards. A bolt was sheared off, and there was a slight delay. The biggest play by far in the period, Ron Ellis's breakaway in the final minute. He did not score on Chico Resch. 3 power play opportunities for the Leafs and 1 for the New York Islanders. All 6 penalties were of the minor variety. And now in our first intermission of game number 5, we go to Showdown. It's a final between two great defensemen. One, unfortunately, cannot be playing here tonight, but we can watch him on Showdown. Boreas Salming of the Leafs, Guy Lapointe of the Montreal Canadiens. This is Showdown 78. Boreas Salming of the Toronto Maple Leafs reached our Showdown final by defeating Larry Robinson 20-10 with shooting like this. And his opponent tonight, Guy Lapointe of the Montreal Canadiens, tremendously accurate shooter, is also in the 20-5. Final, Boreas Salming meeting Guy Lapointe on Showdown 78, brought to you by Canadian Pacific. Larry Robinson is our guest commentator for this Showdown shootout, and Larry, let's have your opinion on the two competitors.
Well, I think it's going to be an interesting final. You've got Salming, who is very agile and a good skater, as well as Lapointe. But I think, if anything, Lapointe might have the advantage in shooting. He's pretty accurate with his shots.
Does that mean you're going with your teammate, Guy Lapointe?
Well, if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to live with him all winter.
Let's see what happens. Well, Howie Meeker, Boreas Salming has chosen the race event first, and who do you think has the edge here?
Well, no doubt, both these fellas have tremendous skills, but I would think Boreas Salming is the better skater.
Well, Howie, in their earlier matchup, Salming proved to be just about 1 second faster than Guy Lapointe, but anything can happen in this final.
Hey, you can throw those times right out the window. That Lapointe is a great competitor. I'll tell you, he'll be going.
Almost ready to go.
They start by skating backwards.
Oh, look out, Guy. He fell down. He's out of it already. Salming's going to win it.
Well, he better keep going, I'll tell you that. Lapointe was trying to develop power on the outside edge of his skate blade when he was doing the backward crossovers, and I think the heel of his skate hit the toe, and down he went. Lost his balance.
What a shocker in event number 1, and how embarrassing for Guy Lapointe.
An easy win. 5 points for Boreal Salming, and here we'll watch. Yes, you can see it. Heel hit the toe, and down he went.
We'll be right back.
Lunchtime, Harry.
Okay, Arnold.
Harry, who owns Canadian Pacific?
Oh, Canadians do.
Just ordinary guys?
All kinds of people, Arnold. Men, women, the majority are Canadians.
I could too?
Of course.
Maybe we could call it Canadian Pacific and Partners.
At Canadian Pacific, we believe what we are is important to you.
Event number 2 is the target shooting. This is the event that Guy Lapointe chose. He defeated Turnbull in an earlier matchup in this event. The others shied away from it. It's very difficult, Howie Meeker. You've got to propel that puck from long distance. You get 6 shots. You can go to targets on the far side or the near side. Most of them choose the far side targets first.
Brian, a good point man is just invaluable. Not too many shots go directly into the goal, but if you can keep it on the net and get it away quickly and keep the shot low, and most important, don't hit the checker. Oh.
Well, Howie, Salming's 0 for 3 so far.
Maybe you better hit one soon. I think you got a bit of that one.
I think you're right. Maybe just a chunk.
Look at the high backswing. He gets that stick right up over top of his head.
He has one.
Oh! Right on, but right along the ice.
That's it for Borje Salming. He gets 1 for 6 in the target shoot.
Here's another look at Boreo's excellent shot. Right on.
Well, Howie, we're going to go to Guy Lapointe now, and he only has to beat Salming. He's got to get 2 targets to win. He told me between events he was very embarrassed about falling down in event number 1. He said, my kids will be watching this event, and they'll think Daddy doesn't even know how to skate.
I'll tell you, that fella not only knows how to shoot a puck, but he's one of the strongest skaters in the league and just had a super year.
Got 1 target already.
Look at his backswing. And he gets up on 1 foot. Oh, look at that. Great shot.
That's the same target, though, so he still has 1. He's got to get another to win.
He did.
Right there. So Lapointe is going to win event number 2. We're going to have a tie.
Boy, he's right on that one, too, on the short side. Doesn't he get him away in a hurry?
Doesn't move very far off that area right there on the line. So Guy Lapointe gets 2 targets, gets 5 points, and we have a tie score.
Oh, yes, oh, yes. Court is now in session.
At Canadian Pacific, we believe that when you offer services to a customer, you are on trial. And your service had better be good, or it's goodbye to you. At Canadian Pacific, we accept these terms every day. In the air. At our hotels. With our telecommunications service. Whether it's far from home or just around the corner. At Canadian Pacific, we're rather proud of our services, but we'd like you to be the judge. At Canadian Pacific, we believe what we do is important to you.
Name's finished, Harry. Okay, Sam. Canadian Pacific. How come it's on the map of the world? That's a worldwide company, Sam. Canadian Pacific? It's a Canadian company, but it operates worldwide. In mining, transportation, hotels, petroleum, steel, and forest products. It's a worldwide company, Sam.
Yeah? Then why don't they call it Canadian Pacific, Atlantic, Arctic,
At Canadian Pacific, we believe what we do is important to you, at home and abroad.
5 shots each in event number 3 against goalie Wayne Stevenson. And down at the bench with the 2 competitors is Larry Robinson.
Right now that you're both tied going into the finals in the breakaway, what do you think you're going to try now, Bori?
Well, I'm going to shoot the first 3 anyways, and then I'm going to try after that, see how much time I have left.
That's just like a defenseman. Makes up his mind what he's going to do before he gets there. I'll tell you, this fella just can fly through the course, so there's no need to shoot, but I guess they don't get too many chances of deking.
Oh, wide of the target with shot number 1. 4 left, 35 seconds. He must complete this.
Oh, great save. Super save. Oh, how about that one?
There's a goal for Borje Salming. Can he do it twice more?
Oh, sensational. Boy, he didn't have much room.
1 shot left.
Oh, and he got him again. 3 in a row. Super performance. Oh,
You're absolutely right, Howie Mika. That was just great shooting on those final 3 shots.
Salming has Wayne Stevenson completely bamboozled. Look at that. Low to the stick side. Watch this shot now. High to the glove. Oh, talk about threading the needle. And look at this one. Waist high off the stick handle. Super shooting.
Well, what's Guy Lapointe going to do now? He does not know that Salming has 3 goals out of 5 shots.
This fella can put the puck in the net, but I hope he has a little strategy to make the odd D, because Stevenson's going to be playing way out after that performance by Salming. Oh, wasn't that something else?
It sure was.
Oh.
Now here comes Guy Lapointe.
Oh, right on.
Good start. He's got one already.
Oh, good move. What a left leg save.
1 for 2 for Guy Lapointe.
Oh, another one.
Got the corner with that one. Now, 1 more to tie Salming. Can he do it?
Oh, look where Stevenson is. Way out. Come on, Guy. Give him the big deke.
There it is.
Good save.
Oh, too bad. Guy Lapointe could not get the 3rd goal, so Salming wins it over Guy Lapointe. Salming is our defenseman's champion. He wins $7,500.
Here's the shot that won it for him. He takes a look, leans on the stick. Wayne gets a bit of it, but not enough. And here's Larry with our competitors.
Tell me, Guy, what did you think of the Showdown overall?
I think it was a pretty good experience. I appreciate it, and I hope they're going to keep going that thing, because I think it's very interesting. And I got to say, it's not easy. It's kind of need some ability to do those things, But
nothing comes easy, though, right?
Well, you have to work for it, and that's part of the game when we play too.
Well, you put up a very good showing. Borje, you won it this year. That's not to say that you didn't have to work for it. It was very tough. Tell me, what do you think about holding your reign for next year?
Well, I hope I'm going to be back next year and do the same, because it was my first time this, and it was fun.
Well, congratulations, Borje. And our next feature is our old-timers final, Bathgate and Armstrong with Bauer in goal on Showdown 78. Brought to you by Canadian Pacific.
When you're smiling, Hello, here's a double album produced especially for you. 100 golden greats. Listen.
You need hands to hold someone you care for. I'm forever blowing bubbles, 'cause there's a tavern in the town.
Great songs, eh?
This super album is in the stores now. 2 record set $9.99, 2 tape set $11.99.
Introducing the Food Machine, new from GE. Slices carrots, shreds cabbage, grates cheese, chops onions, and grinds beef in just seconds. Set to pulse action for necessary precise control. Continuous action for longer cycles. The Food Machine, new from Canadian General Electric. It works fast, and that's good. It's easy to clean, and that's great. Available at most department stores, including Eaton, Simpson, Sears, and the Bay. Ask for a demonstration.
From the Nassau Coliseum, we are scoreless in the first intermission of Game 5 between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the New York Islanders. This is Dave Hodge with our analyst for tonight, Bill Clement from the Atlanta Flames. And before we look at highlights of this game, Bill's going to bring us up to date on what's happening at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, where the score is 1-0 for the Flyers. Is that indicative of anything that has happened?
Definitely not. Apparently the Buffalo Sabres were not ready for that early vacation that the Flyers had planned for them. Came out and actually carried the play to the Flyers. The majority of play was in the Flyers' end. The Sabres outshot the Flyers 11-7 and had 3 or 4 golden opportunities to score. The Flyers had 1 and capitalized on it. The Sabres didn't score on any of theirs. Bernie Parent is sharp in nets again tonight.
Okay, let's look at the highlights that Bill has picked from Philadelphia, where the Flyers lead 1-0.
Well, big men that can skate are an asset to any team because they're an intimidating factor on defense and can move the puck well offensively. And here's Jerry Korab crossing the blue line and making a Gilbert Perreault-style play to Craig Ramsey. And here's Bernie Parent with his first big save of the game. He's kept the Flyers in it at that point. You see he stops Ramsey cold and covers up on the puck, and that was Parent's first big test of the game.
All the reports out of the Philadelphia playoff series say that Parent is really sharp, and you're going to show us again.
Well, he's sharp tonight. There's a lot of pressure in this sequence. There's scrambles all around Bernie Parent, and you see him moving back and forth in his nets. First a shot from Gavremont. It comes over to Luce, who just slaps it back in front of the net, and you can see there's all kinds of action surrounding Bernie Parent, and he ends up with a little help from his teammate stopping the flood.
That's Buffalo pressure in Philadelphia. The Flyers have their own way of providing it and of scoring in this instance.
Well, here's the Flyers' one good scoring opportunity. Lee Fogelin took a penalty with 6 minutes to go in the first period. Bob Daly takes a shot from the point, the rebound of which Don Edwards cannot handle. It comes right up to Bobby Clark, who lifts it over Edwards' shoulder and into the net. And the reason Bobby Clark is alone on this play is that Jim Schoenfeld, as we can see in this shot, is busy tying up Reggie Leach to Don Edwards' left. What happens is it's an actual isolation of a 2-on-1. Clark and Leach are handling Schoenfeld, actually, and Don Luce tries to help, but he's too late.
You wonder how much the little things can affect a hockey game. And watching this one here at the Nassau Coliseum, the great ovation that the Islanders received when they came out on the ice, an extended ovation, in fact. The presence of Eddie Westfall, and he was needed right off the bat in the first minute when Gillies took his first of 2 penalties. And then the big save by Chico Resch on Ron Ellis. We want to see that play. Great play by Ellis to get in alone. And let's just see what happens as Ellis really has Resch at his mercy. Time to measure the play and pick it up from here, Bill.
Well, Ellis makes a great move to his backhand here, cutting around the Islander defenseman, and just continues to dig until he gets the puck around his forehand, takes his time, but look how far to the net Resch is. He's come out to cut down that angle because he feels that Ellis doesn't have enough time to move around him, and as a result, Ellis is actually forced to shoot it over the net. Resch didn't give him much to shoot at.
The Islanders had only one power play advantage, but I thought that they probably used it to get more scoring chances than the Leafs did in all 3, and that's Mr. Bossy, who can shoot the puck well and quickly.
Well, Mike Bossy has the unique ability to be open almost all the time. And when you combine that with the great ability to release the shot and get it on net in a hurry, you always have scoring opportunities.
Islanders complained in Toronto that they weren't taking advantage of those chances. Perhaps in the regular season, that shot by Bossy would have had more on it, and they'd have had something better on the rebound. I think they're getting a little frustrated because the chances are there, and they're not scoring them. Momentum in that period, was there any? I don't know, Bill, what you think, but I think it was as even a period as you'd want to see. Go back to Buffalo, Philadelphia, and we'll continue to watch Toronto and the Islanders as well. Now, Bill and Brian will bring us the play-by-play of that second period.
Thank you, David. Good to have you with us, Bill Clement. The teams are back on the ice. There's Spike Palmateer, who had those big saves in the first period. And here's Bill Hewitt with a summary.
Okay, Brian, and of course there was no scoring in the first period, but the Islanders outshot Toronto 13-10.
And coming up Thursday, April 27th, Game 6 in this series, the Islanders and the Toronto Maple Leafs back at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Darryl Sittler, captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, at center ice. Lanny McDonald, number 7, on the right side. Ryan Glennie, Ian Turnbull. As the teams are playing 5-a-side. Joe Hansen and Potvin in the penalty box. Ryan Trottier, along with Stephen Pearson, Mark Gillies, and Jerry Hart. Lanny McDonald, stopped by Gillies. Ian Turnbull then came over and tipped it. Lanny McDonald and Trottier. Play is called. And the face-off will be where they jammed it.
Lanny McDonald didn't have a shot in that first period, but Darryl Sittler led the Leafs with 3. Gillies had 4 for the Islanders. Dennis Potvin had 3.
Gillies back to Jerry Hart, over to Pearson. Pearson at center, shot the puck around on the boards behind the net, went by Palmateer. Gillies let it go. Jerry Hart was checked by Turnbull, but he gets it to Gillies. Gillies trying to get out in front of the net. Ends up behind the goal. Turnbull is covered, though, by Trottier, and Trottier shot it down the ice. Now the Islanders have to go back into their own zone to get it. Pearson, Sittler bumped him. Jerry Hart gets it up. Glenny running into Trottier. A quick pass to Bob Bourne. Bourne went by Turnbull, still has it. Finally bumped in on the board. Williams can't get out. Gets it over to Turnbull, though, and Ian Turnbull goes down the ice with Sittler. Over the line, back to Sittler. Sittler right in front. It's scored! It was knocked into the net, and the Leafs get on the scoreboard.
Delayed reaction on the goal is Ian Turnbull, who has really played a daring series, offensively racing up there. Here he leads the attack. Number 2 is Turnbull. Breaks in over the line, drops it back to Sittler. Turnbull goes right to the net, and that's what gives the Leaf the goal as Sittler shovels it in there, and suddenly it pops loose. Must have been a second delay before it bounced in behind Resch. Sittler's backhand pass. Where is it? There it is, in the net. Who gets credit? We'll know in a moment. Turnbull given credit for the goal, I believe. His third. Sittler, of course, will draw the assist.
For number 2, Ian Turnbull. Assistant by number 27, Darryl Sittler, and number 22, Jay Williams. Time of the goal, 110. As Turnbull's first playoff goal.
Williams also gets an assist at 110.
And that, of course, was scored with the team even at 5-a-side. 1-0 for the Maple Leafs. As the puck is cleared around behind the Maple Leaf net. Glenny, a pass into the corner. Broken up by Lewis. Then Glenny covers Lewis. The puck comes loose. Lewis covered. And it goes into the corner. Along the boards, Nystrom intercepts. Nystrom gets it back to Lewis. His shot is wide of the net. Dennis Potvin, who's back out there, shot it into the corner. Here's Mike Pellick trying to trap it. Puck goes loose to Williams. Williams is checked. Nystrom right in front of the net. And that hit the Leaf defenseman as he dropped in front of it. Dennis Potvin gets it over to Lewis, the shot. And Pellick threw himself in front of it again. Nystrom, then to Dennis Potvin. Back to Nystrom. He's checked. The race for the puck. Over the line for Trevor Johansson, and he was stopped by Nystrom. Up to Dennis Potvin, stopped by Williams. Dave Lewis. Pass up to Bob Bourne, up at center, over the line. Stopped by Randy Carlyle. Randy Carlyle hooked at it, over the blue line, back out at center, offside. From the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island, this is Stanley Cup 78.
What are we going to do?
Well, we told our wives.
You mean work on the boat?
Yeah, work on the boat.
We've got all kinds of time. There's ice in the water.
Oh, we gotta do it now. It'll be gone by the weekend.
Bet?
Yeah.
Loser buys the X.
Okay.
Such a mark.
For years, Roger and the boys have talked about working on the old
Why
boats
don't we do it tomorrow?
and had second thoughts over a little Molson Export Ale.
In the water before this clown's got the deck sanded.
Molson Export Ale. It keeps on tasting great.
Play just underway, and the puck is intercepted by Turnbull, who's been playing an outstanding game on the defense of the league. Gary Howard then took it away, shot it down the ice. Harris goes after it. Howard here lost it. It's cleared out in front, right in front, and that's stopped by Turnbull. A quick pass for Pat Boutet. Races after it. Gets the puck. Centered it. There's nobody there. Then it's out in front. Dan Weir missed it. Pat Boutet has lost his glove. Goes back to get it. Now it's back for Howard. Over the line. Britt Merrick. Checked by Pat Boutet. Boutet. Pass to Ellis. Takes his shot. Resch caught that. And gives it to Pearson. Pearson gets it back. In the corner. 1-0 for the Maple Leafs. Pearson at his own blue line. Up the center right. A long shot. Wide of the net. Lanny McDonald. To Darryl Sittler, knocking it out for Maloney, and it was too far for him. Dennis Potvin over on the wing. Cleared back into Leaf territory. Ian Turnbull is there again. Off the boards for Maloney. Lets it go down the ice. No icing on that play as it hit the Islander at the Leaf blue line. A long pass at center. Howard tips it down the ice. Randy Carlyle goes after it. To Maloney and Turnbull. And to Sittler. Hitler with Maloney. A shot. Resch stopped that. He's got the rebound, and he's trying to hold it for a faceoff.
Well, the Red Wings are trying desperately to stay alive in their series with Montreal. Let's check back at the Montreal Forum now and see what's happening.
Charging by Lapointe, who gets back there, but Saint Laurent gives it to Cameron, and there's the shot. Kalani shooting it. Scores! Detroit has tied it up.
It's a 2-2 hockey game, and so the Red Wings may not be finished yet. A 2-2 tie at the Forum. Here it's Leafs 1, the Islanders nothing.
Back it comes, Randy Carlisle's shot. He's got another try. He gets it right to Maloney, a shot, and Resch stopped that. Lanny McDonald. He's given a bump by Westfall. Westfall hurt himself. It's behind the net. Islanders with Trottier now getting it up on the left wing to Gillies. Checked by Randy Carlisle. Carlisle has given a bump. Goes back over the line. Maloney couldn't get it. Lanny McDonald tried to cover his check. Gillies for Trottier. Trottier missed the check from Glennie, but there's Randy Carlisle to Lanny McDonald. He shoots it in. That's going over the red line. Rossi will touch it. Icing is the call. Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island.
Now there's a new color film for the one-step that develops twice as fast. Get the picture. Polaroid's one-step is the world's simplest camera, and look at the new brighter SX70 color. The picture? You'll begin to see the image in seconds, and it's finished in minutes, twice as fast as before. That's fine. You never focus. You just press the button, a motor hands it to you. Get the one-step.
And there's the score, 1-0 for the Maple Leafs in this second period, 14:58 remaining. As the puck goes to Trevor Johansson, to Ian Turnbull. Ian Turnbull back to Johansson. Up on the right wing for Jerry Butler. That's going the length of the ice, and that'll be icing as soon as Pearson touches it, and he does.
Roger Nielsen back of that Leaf bench. The 13th Leaf coach in their long history. The first one who never played professional hockey at any level himself. We're going to keep a close eye on Eddie Westfall. It appeared that he may have limped off on the last shift after taking a hit. And we'll see how he skates if he's back out there next time.
Jimmy Jones out there with Williams and Butler. Number 21, Mike Kazicki for the New York Islanders. Now then, Ellis comes out, replacing Jerry Butler. Bob Bourne and Bob Nystrom for the New York Islanders. Jerry Hart and Stephen Pearson. Well, Jones and Kazicki couldn't get their sticks down properly, so Williams moves in against Bob Bourne. Into the corner it goes. Cleared by Trevor Johansson to Ian Turnbull. Turnbull shot it out to center right. Jerry Hart. A pass taken by Bob Bourne. Back to Pearson. Back to Nystrom. Shot the puck into the corner. Behind the net, Trevor Johansson. Then in the corner, working it to the blue line. Ellis is there. They decide to hold it against the boards, and they'll have another face.
Please report to security.
So the Philadelphia Flyers lead Buffalo on the scoreboard now 3-1. Second period as Holmgren has added his goal to Clark's, and then Lonsberry scored to make it 3-1. Terry Martin replied for the Sabres.
Jimmy Jones along with Ron Ellis and Tiger Williams. Puck goes back to Trevor Johansson. 1-0 for the Maple Leafs. Puck is cleared to the blue line and out. Nystrom just shoots it right back in again. Johansson back for it. Off the glass. Jerry Hart takes a bang at it twice. Just bouncing there. Still loose though, and it's shot back. Palmatier out of the net. Nystrom comes up with a puck to Bourne. Covered by Jones. They go to the boards again. The puck has not been frozen. Covered Johansson. They're going to get a delay of game penalty.
You don't see it called very often, but the Leafs' failure to move the puck along the boards and the Islanders wisely restraining from doing any checking at all cost the Leafs now 2 minutes to Johansson, delay of game at 6:16. That's his third penalty of the hockey game, Johansson. Leafs putting up a mild protest. Let's watch it again now. Johansson, well, we'll move in here now as the puck is kicked ahead. This is where he freezes it, and Ellis moves in, but Bourne really, well, he started with a little motion there, then backed off as he was held in check by Ellis.
Now we have Roger Nielsen looking on, and from the face-off, Brian Glennie along the boards for Jimmy Jones. He gets it out, Ferguson and Trache bump together. Cleared over by Pearson on the wing to Mike Bossy. Bossy is checked, but Trache has the puck. Trache trying to center it, still has it. Into the corner. Can he do anything with it? He's knocked off the puck and cleared out going to Dennis Potvin. Stands on it. Trying to get another try, and that's off the net. Mike Palmatier around on the board. Clark Gillies. A pass right out of Ferguson's stick. And the New York Islanders have lost a little of their confidence. Now here they come. Led by Dennis Potvin at center. Over the line. That's as far as he got. Lenny went down, but the puck is shot down the ice. 1 minute and 2 seconds left in the penalty. Leafs trying to force the Islanders to make mistakes. Up they come. Islanders have a man advantage. Got it over the line. Ellis goes after him. Spears it around to Jerry Butler. Butler finds it open. Lost a little of their confidence. Now here they come. Led by Dennis Potvin at center. Over the line. That's as far as he got. Lenny went down, but the puck is shot down the ice. 1 minute and 2 seconds left in the penalty. Leafs trying to force the Islanders to make mistakes. Up they come. Islanders have a man advantage. Got it over the line. Ellis goes after him. Spears it around to Jerry Butler. Butler finds an opening. He shoots it down the ice. And now the fans are turning on the Islanders. Back up the ice for Clark Gillies. Over the line. Into the corner. Centered it back to Dennis Potvin. Potvin inside the blue line. Over it comes to Pearson. His shot. That caromed into the corner. Gillies and Kazicki. Kazicki coming from the side. Centered it. A shot hit the goalpost. Another shot. Back of the net. Kazicki has it again. Still has it. Back it comes to Pearson. Over it goes to Gillies. Cleared by Ellis, wide of the net on a deflection. Back out is Trevor Johansson. Kazicki, shot, passed it, and that was shot wide. Trevor Johansson hits it at the center ice. Back is Pearson, over to Gillies. He flips it right back in again. 1-0 for the Maple Leafs. There's a shot around on the board to Jerry Butler. Up at center. He drives it into the crowd. This is Stanley Cup 78 from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island.
Hey there with that car to buy. Grow with us.
Hey there with that knot to tie.
Grow with us. Adding on that extra room. Going off to college soon. Come on, everybody, grow with us.
Scotia Plan Loans, a low-cost, convenient way to get yourself growing in dozens of ways right now.
Come to Scotia Bank and grow with us. Grow with us. Grow with us. Grow with us.
Well, set to go now with Wayne Merrick, Harris, and Howard against Sittler, Maloney, and Lanny McDonald. That's Randy Carlisle. Carlisle up to Dan Maloney. He just shot it to center right. Jerry Hart flipped one back, but he flipped it way over the glass into the crowd.
Palmateer came under pressure with the Islanders holding the man advantage. One player wrapped it off the goalpost as we watch this play develop. That's Kazicki. There's the shot just off the goalpost to the right of Palmateer. The Islanders now 2 for 19 on the power play in this series.
Turnbull to Randy Carlisle. He shoots the puck in. Off the board. Resch. And Maloney took the puck away from Jerry Hart. Back to Randy Carlisle. His shot wide. Sittler has the rebound. There's nobody in front of the net. And it's the Islanders coming back. A quick pass over the line for Harris. Takes his shot and he blasted it. And I think it may have just hit the shoulder of Palmateer, went over the glass.
Well, again, we talked about Turnbull's daring. He gambled here and got caught up the ice going for the player, Merrick. Harris now coming up, only one defenseman back as the Leafs race to catch up. And there's the rising shot. I think you're right, Bill. It caught something there, the shoulder of Palmateer and up into the crowd.
Okay, Brian, and we're all set now. 10:32 remaining in the second period. 1-0 to score in favor of the Maple Leafs. Goal scored by Ian Turnbull from Sittler and Williams at 1:10. Here's the chance for Sittler. Over the blue line. Fakes his shot. Trying to go around Hart. Hart took him out. Puck goes to Maloney over his stick, and Harris brings it back with Merrick and Howitt. A pass for Howitt over the line. Centered it, and it was kicked back by Palmateer. Another shot, and Maloney has it. Long pass for Lanny McDonald. Over the line. Takes his shot. Resch stopped that. McDonald went into the boards. Cleared around on the boards, went out to center. Arranged for it. Wayne Merrick. Over the line. A drop pass to Howitt. Howitt was checked. Sittler. And given a bump by Harris. Dan Maloney. Too far for Lanny McDonald, and they're getting a rest. Over the boards comes Stan Weir along with Williams. And also Pat Boutet. Boutet knocked down by Howitt. Wayne Merrick at center. Now then Boutet and Howitt. And they'll both get penalties.
Both teams starting to bristle now in the second period. 9:22 to play.
With the score, Toronto 1, the Islanders nothing. This is Stanley Cup 78.
As you roll along, shine on, taking time to have some fun, shine on. This is your kind of country, it's your kind of life, shine, shine on. And now's the time for the beer, that is brewed just for the country. The beer called Canadian, Molson Canadian, it's your kind of beer.
Two of hockey's toughest little men in the box now, Gary Howitt and Pat Boutet. Both get 2 minutes for high sticking at 10:38. There's Boutet. We saw Howitt a moment ago.
So with the two teams playing five-a-side at the beginning of the second period, resulted in the Leafs' only goal so far.
Bill, here's where that happened. You see at the top of your screen, 8 is Howitt, 15 Boutet. They got their sticks up. Boutet very happy to get the third goal in Toronto the other night. A great setup from Weir.
Mike Pellick brings the puck out. Up at center. Shot by Bourne. Then now Pellick was knocked down by Nystrom over the line for Dennis Potvin. Outside was Bob Bourne.
It's funny how the crowd turned against the Islanders with the power play going in their favor in this second period. They gave them such a rousing ovation to start the game. Suddenly, they're starting to boo them when they fail to score. And, of course, if they ever do get a goal, they'll turn right around again.
Bourne, Nystrom, Abe Lewis, and Dennis Potvin. George Ferguson, one man back. Ferguson takes the shot, and it rolled out in front. And Resch beats it to Lewis. Lewis and Nystrom up together. Over the line. Nystrom a shot. Here just got a piece of it with his glove. Turnbull lost his man. It's Nystrom into the corner. He hit Ferguson. A race for the puck. Nystrom beat Ferguson to it. And Kazicki And Nystrom coming up. Lenny missed him with a body check, but it was offside at the blue line.
Nystrom showing a lot of skate out there. We mentioned the other night how he took skating lessons from not one but two lady skating coaches. He scored the game winner in game 1 of this series. And he said both those ladies really helped me improve my skating. Laura Schramm was one, and then Barbara Williams. The Islanders, the first team, as we look at that great glove saved by Paul Matier just off the glove. The Islanders, the first team, I guess, in hockey history to employ a lady coach, an assistant coach.
Lauren Henning, number 10 out there. With Pearson, Harris, and Jerry Hart. Eddie Westfall has not seen any action since the early part of the second period.
He was afraid of that the other night. He said, why take a chance if I go out there and get hurt and just cost the team? Well, it looks like he did re-injure that knee earlier in this period.
Jimmy Jones kicks the puck to Johansson to Turnbull. Back for Johansson into the corner. Johansson and Henning. Henning kicks it loose to Harris. Comes back to Jerry Hart. Hart over to Pearson. Pearson just shoots it around on the board. Never Johansson again. This time it's Jimmy Jones. Jones. A long pass to Williams at center. Williams over the line. Takes his shot, and that was just off the target. Henning cleared it behind the Islanders' goal. Pearson up on the left wing. Harris and to Henning. Henning hits around. Turnbull was given a shove. Henning getting it back to Jerry Hart. There's his shot. Jimmy Jones flipped it, and he flipped it into the crowd. I'm sure he didn't mean to do that one.
Ron Wicks, the referee, will take a look at the scoreboard once again. 2-2 at the Forum in Montreal. At the end of the second period now, they're in the third period, and also just beginning the third period, Philadelphia leading Buffalo 3-1. There's Jimmy Jones. Boy, what a season he's had in a Leaf uniform. Just caused the stoppage in play. 1 goal and 3 assists. Pretty good for Jimmy.
He improves every game out. A big find for Jim Gregory finding Jimmy Jones. The puck at the rim of the circle. It goes to Gillies, back to Dennis Potvin. Potvin turns around. Jones is right there, a shot. And Mike Palmatier caught it and held on to it. 7.5 minutes remaining in the second period. 1-0 for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Talking to Paul Matier after the game the other night, he's full of plans to go fishing right after the season is over. He got a couple of fishing junkets lined up. And Tiger Williams, his brother, followed him all the way from Winnipeg to Toronto to see the game the other night, then followed him all the way down here to see this game tonight. And he's driving all the way. That's 23 hours Winnipeg to Toronto, another 10 or 12 hours to the island, and all the way back again. A lot of time at the steering wheel.
The Leafs have possession. Maloney bringing the puck up to center ice with a pass through for Darryl Sittler. Lewis is shot by Darryl Sittler. It's against the board, and the referee was right there. There was no penalty on that one.
Dave Lewis, one of those Bill Height type of defensemen. You don't see him take too many forays down the ice, but very steady back on the blue line. Here's where Sittler almost tripped him up. Well, he did trip him up.
And we're right back to the live action as Dennis Potvin goes behind the net. Dennis Potvin gets it over onto the left side, up to center ice. Long shot by Bossy goes into the corner. Driven off the boards by Maloney. Kicked by Dennis Potvin, and it goes into the crowd. This Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island.
Mercury's got your car.
Mercury's got Monarch with classic styling. It's a pleasure to drive and practical to operate, with built-in value in the Lincoln Mercury tradition. See Monarch and all the other Mercuries. There's one to suit every taste and every budget.
If you're looking to make sense out of your back, look no further, 'cause you're in luck. That's the way to go, Toronto, 'cause Mercury's got your car.
And we're all set to go. There is Brian Trache, number 19. All set to go. Maloney gets it back to Trevor Johansson, to Glennie, to Trevor Johansson. He flips it up and down the ice. It goes to Resch. Resch flicked it off to the wing. Gillies is bumped by Lanny McDonald. Comes around on the boards. Bossy ahead to Trache. Trache gaining momentum to center, then elects to shoot it wide of the net. Palmatier to Trevor Johansson, who was given a bump. Sittler goes in. Gillies and Trache. Out in front of Bossy. That shot was stopped. Here's another one. Score! Dennis Patman.
The crowd is with the Islanders now. We're showered with paper here in the booth. Paper flying all over this building. As Dennis Patman ties it up, you can see the paper shreds floating down. 1-1 tie, second period, 6:21 to play. Brian Trache sets up Bossy. Lenny goes down to block, but here comes the rebound out to Dennis Patman. He moves in quickly. His rising shot over the shoulder of Palmatier. Patman, 13:39. Bossy missed the first chance as Lenny made a good sprawling stop. But they couldn't get back in time to stop Patman's rising shot under the crossbar. 1-1. 13:39, his first of the playoffs. 13:39. Trache and Bossy will draw assists. 13:39 the time. Crowd's behind this team now on all night.
Yes, they are. They're back up and starting to chant. 6 minutes, 21 seconds remaining in the second period. A 1-1 tie. Trimble. A quick pass over the line for Jerry Butler, but he couldn't hear the whistle. It was offside.
Want some popcorn, Bill? Some just showered down here.
They got more confetti all over here. See what that goal does to the Islanders. It's all tied up, 1-1. Up the ice for Jerry Hart. Hits the puck in. Palmatier. Bring it up, set by Nystrom. It's going to be a penalty. Nystrom. It could be interference. Oh, live from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island, the Stanley Cup playoffs.
How long do you want your car to last?
1,000,000 miles. She's already done 89,000, and the only thing I've ever done to the engine is tune it up. Of course, I check it regularly, and the only motor oil I've ever used in my car is Quaker State.
Quaker State can't promise everyone the kind of mileage Julian Fry gets, but Quaker State helps cars last, and that's a fact.
I guess that's why Quaker State's the best-selling motor oil in North America.
Well, the crowd has turned against referee Ron Wicks now as Nystrom is called for interference at 13:58. They're shouting bull feathers or something at him. It's interference at Nystrom. And it took place right behind the net. You could see that Palmatier was bullied right into the boards. And Wicks under heavy criticism here at the Nassau County Coliseum. Oh my, the life of a referee is not a pleasant one. Especially at playoff time.
Yeah, one thing I do notice out in the ice now, Brian, is Eddie Westfall.
Well, he's a great competitor, tremendously popular fella, not only in Long Island, but all around the league. There isn't a classier guy on skates, and I hope that knee is solid.
Darrell Sittler, Maloney, Valaket, McDonald, and Turnbull. A 1-1 tie, 6 minutes, 2 seconds remaining, second period. All set to go, Westfall against Sittler. Out there with Henning, Jerry Hart, Valaket knocked the puck back to Lanny McDonald. Over to Ian Turnbull. Turnbull to Maloney. Maloney turned around by Westfall. Brought back by Marshall. He shot it in. And it's Valaket. Back to Lanny McDonald. Lanny McDonald. Around on the boards to Maloney to Turnbull. Turnbull up at center. Over the line. Hooks it for Sittler. It's up high. It goes down. Maloney into the corner. Back to Lanny McDonald. Into Sittler. Sittler. Long pass over to Turnbull. Turnbull's foot right in front. Maloney has it again. He's knocked down. Right up by Marshall to center right. Over the line, and it's shot into the corner. 56 seconds left in the penalty. Turnbull. Over for Lanny McDonald. At the blue line. Up at center to Sittler. Sittler's over the line, and he got it through. Resch has got it. Flips it off the board, and it's Eddie Westfall shooting it down the ice. Palmetier to Lanny McDonald. 31 seconds left in the penalty. McDonald. Up for Maloney. Maloney. A pass for Sittler. Over to Ellis. Ellis back to Sittler. Took a shot. The rebound, and Resch has got it.
Leafs had two good scoring chances with the man advantage. Still have 23 seconds left in the penalty to Bob Nystrom. Watch Sittler's shot now. It's through to Resch. Here comes the rebound. Under Lewis, and Resch races out to grab it. A few seconds earlier, Bill, Maloney was pulled down in front of Resch as they almost tipped it by him. Here's Maloney 9. Hart is there. As Maloney starts away, Hart spins him around.
Comes back to Randy Carlisle. He hit the linesman. Still has it, though. Shot it behind the net. Stan Weir couldn't control it. Eddie Westfall and Ron Ellis with the puck going to Williams. Williams back for Ellis. He's bumped. Stan Weir has the puck. Stan Weir then for Ellis. Dennis Putman is there. Weir intercepts that pass. Stan Weir getting it out in front. And Westfall shoots it up for Nystrom. And Glennie tops it over the glass into the crowd.
Ball
1-1 tie. Second period.
Bald man in the crowd saying he hit him right in the head. Nystrom out of the box. We've got 3:43 left. Second period. The Islanders' third choice in the 72 amateur draft, Bobby Nystrom. 630 goal scorers on the Islanders, but the Leafs have controlled their big line. The trio grande, as they call them. Trottier, Bossy, and Gillis.
Three minutes and 43 seconds remaining. Second period, a 1-1 tie. Cleared by Gillies in behind the Leaf net. Johansson shot it to the corner. Butler couldn't get it out. That shot on the two. Stop that. That was a quick wrist shot by number 25, Dave Lewis. And it got all the way to Palmetier. I don't think he was expecting it.
Well, we may have a moment to catch a second look at that on the replay. Corner shot. And Palmetier gets the body in front of it, then goes after it.
All set to go. Back Gillies. Puck wasn't dropped fairly as Trache went down. It's Jimmy Jones, Butler, and Boutette. Very important face-off. The puck is dropped into the corner. It's loose along the board. Jimmy Jones doesn't get it out. Knocked down was Dave Lewis. Then Clark Gillies tried to get it, and it's cleared by Jerry Butler at the center right. Then it's Putman. Drives the puck around on the board. Comes back to the blue line. Jerry Hart takes his shot. That is deflected off the glass and into the crowd, and it will come outside the blue line.
Mike Bossy, 53 goals during the regular season, a couple of goals in the playoffs, one a big one, the winner in overtime the other night. Led the NHL with 25 power play goals. Along with Trotzy and Gillies, that line collected 299 points in the regular season. Oh, they've had trouble scoring against the Leafs in the playoffs.
Jones, Butler, and Boutette. Goes back to Turnbull, to Johansson, to Jones. He left it there, poked it to the blue line and out. Gillies waiting for his teammates to get onside, shoots it back. Palmatier then to Turnbull. Ian Turnbull is checked. Gillies behind the net. Centered it, was over there. Cleared by Butler, but not out. A shot! Another shot. That goes into the corner. And the Islanders putting on tremendous pressure now after scoring the tying goal at 13:39.
Well, I wonder if some of their defensemen are getting a little weary now, and this is when it points out the absence of Borja Salming, who is just an expert at clearing the puck out of the zone. Gillies named the Islander captain. The Islanders vote for their own captains, you know, Bill, and when they had the vote last time, somebody said, are we allowed to vote for ourselves? And Dennis Potvin, no, if we did that, we'd have 20 captains.
Off the boards to the blue line and out to center right. Justin Pearson. To Jerry Hart to Pearson. Pearson up to the red line. A long shot. Wide of the net off the board. Jerry Butler let it go. Cleared by Johansson. Ferguson couldn't get it out. Bossy has it. Given a shove. Over for Pearson. Maloney took him out. Ferguson getting down the ice. Trying to get away from Bossy, and Bossy skates him off. Picked up by Jerry Hart, and Maloney's right there again. He's got the puck. To Ferguson a shot, and Bresch got his glove up on that. Gillies to Trache. Trache just shoots it in. Back for it, Trevor Johansson. Too far for Turnbull, but it goes out over the blue line. Jerry Butler shoots it down into Islander territory. 1:40 remaining in the second period. A 1-1 tie. Back up for Gary Howard to Harris over the line. Harris takes the shot. Covered by Johansson. Rolled it in front. And Palmatier got down low enough to cover that off the stick of Wayne Merrick.
Merrick nursing a very sore hand. That may have cost him a goal on that play, as Harris did good work. Racing in with the puck, the Leafs frantically in pursuit. Here's Harris, Harry-O as they call him on the island. It bounces off a skate in front, and Merrick, who's got that bad hand, had trouble getting a good shot away, and it just rolled crazily in front of Palmatier.
Lanny McDonald and Tiger Williams coming up. And the time, as you see on the clock, remaining 1:28. Merrick, Harris, Howard, Dennis Potvin, Dave Lewis. Mike Pellick brings it up to center right. Over the red line, drives the puck in. It's behind the net. Islanders go back. Dennis Potvin off the board right on a Sippler stick. A shot, Bresch stopped that. Williams Goes after the puck. Cleared around on the board. Stopped by Pellick again to Sittler. Trying to roll it in front, and it's played out. Played back. And Dennis Potvin. Pass goes to Harris. He shoots the puck in. And it's Darryl Sittler for Lanny McDonald. Too far. Howard and Sittler bumped together. Now Lanny McDonald goes down. Puck's underneath him. Play is called. 39 seconds remaining in the second period. 1-1 tie.
We'll be talking to referee-in-chief Scotty Morrison during the intermission. I think we'll ask him about some of the penalty calls in the series so far and some of the complaints, and also what kind of a protection a goaltender might expect. This is the third game we've had with no scoring in the first period. There have been 2 goals in the second period. Turnbull opened it from Sittler and Williams at 1:10, then Potvin from Trottier and Bossy at 13:39.
All set to go now for the faceoff, and it's Trottier, Nystrom, and Bourne, along with Dennis Potvin and Dave Lewis. Comes back to Lewis. Lewis chopped it over to Dennis Potvin. Dennis Potvin a shot. Pelletier stopped that. And as he stopped it, he whacked it up into the crowd.
Boy, he's quick. He got that up in a hurry. He saw it all the way.
Great big profile there.
Well, look at this shot. Now, it's Potvin can really drill that puck. And Potvin, look at how quick that was with the stick.
Trottier wins the draw to Dennis Potvin. Another shot. That bounces in front. Cleared to the blue line, but not out. Potvin another shot. Knocked down in front of the goal. They take a whack at it. It's still there. And Sittler gets it out and down the ice, but there's going to be a penalty to the Maple Leafs with 16 seconds left. Turnbull was right on top of Nystrom.
Well, the Leafs
penalty likely.
Leafs' inability to clear the puck cost them because they had to scramble back then, and as a result, Turnbull took a penalty. Here's the announcement. Holding with just 16 seconds left in the period. Bouncing puck high in the air. Turnbull hit it with the palm of his glove, or rather Johansson. Now it's behind him. And he tackled Nystrom on the play as they move in on Palmatier. In 1944, Turnbull goes for holding.
Leafs win the draw and drive the puck down the ice. Back forward is Resch. Resch with 9 seconds, leaving it for Pearson. Pearson checked by Butler, but recovers. Gets it up to Bossy. Bossy with 1 second. There goes Horn, and the second period is over. And so the score at the end of the second period is Toronto 1, the New York Islanders 1.
Now, Hitachi brings out its biggest gun for the new 26-inch Luminar 1 color console. Luminar 1, the system that gives you full beam color. Full beams that leave no gaps like conventional systems, but put all the color on the screen. Look at the elegant wood cabinet. It's 5 inches slimmer, thanks to our new 110-degree picture tube. The 26-inch Luminar 1. New from Hitachi.
Patch roof leaks the easy way with Tremco Instant Patch. Use it in almost any weather to stop leaks on roofs, chimneys, and gutters. Instant Patch's exclusive formula of glass and organic fibers dries to a tough membrane that seals holes up to 1/4 inch in diameter. Tremco Instant Patch by the makers of Tremclad
Canada's #1 rust paint. Look for Instant Patch and other fine Tremco products in this Tremco Home Maintenance Center, wherever you buy paint or home care items.
Don't go too fast. Okay. Okay, great. Remember to use your brakes when you reach the
Like
corner.
all parents, we have the protective instinct too, about life and security and the future. And that's what life insurance is all about.
And be careful.
Talk it over with Mutual Life of Canada. We've got children too.
Life is a mutual.
It's a 1-1 tie at the end of 2 periods at the Nassau Coliseum. Perhaps coincidentally, but also meaningfully, the goal scorers have been the men who anchor the back line for both teams. Ian Turnbull opened the scoring for the Leafs from Sittler and Williams at 1:10. And the Islanders came back with Dennis Potvin's goal from Mike Bossy and Brian Trottier at 13:39. Shots 10 apiece in that second period. And this is a game that resembles Game 2 here at the Nassau Coliseum, considered to be as good a playoff game as we've seen in a long, long time. At Montreal, the Canadiens trying to eliminate the Red Wings. Let's go there for action.
Here's a shot. It's off a stick. Lapointe again. Over to Lafleur. He shoots. Rebound right in front of the net. They score! Jarvis. Canadiens emptied the bench.
Canadiens ahead of Detroit, and it should be mentioned that in this series, no team has come from behind in the third period to win a game, so that Potvin tying goal, all important for the Islanders. A man who's important for the Leafs, controversial, but everybody says valuable, Dave Williams.
Dave Tiger Williams was not endowed with an abundance of natural talent, a fact which he readily admits.
There's two kinds of hockey players. There's a guy that's got all the ability in the world and natural talent, so on and so forth. And then there's the other guy who's got, a little bit of everything, but he's really got to work hard. And I was in the latter, and I feel that I'm in better shape than anybody in this league. Pardon me, that might be a little overboard, but as good a shape as anybody who thinks they're in really good shape. I feel that for me to get to A and B and get back to A, that I have to be in great shape, and my body, I train like that. I have people help me skating. I eat that way. I have a diet, and I think that's really important to a hockey player, and that's part of the sacrifice you have to make to the game.
Dave also devotes much of his time to charitable causes. His visits to the Ontario Crippled Children's Center are as much fun for the Tiger as they are for the kids.
Them kids are happy, They really aren't as fortunate as I am, but they're happy and they're fun to play with. You just can feel it in their bones. You just look in their expressions in their face that they really enjoy you being there, and I like to be there to help them out because I sure wish that if I was in their position that somebody would sure come and play with me and help me and talk to me.
Dave's not always able to leave the game behind at the arena. Watching Tiger face off against son Ben are his wife Brenda and daughter Clancy.
I got the big fella here, and I got Clancy, and when they go to bed around 8 o'clock, then me and Brenda usually do something between the two of us, so I don't do anything specifically to relax.
Well, he's right. Between games, it doesn't seem that there's too much time to do anything. I think we spend most of our time just with the kids or maybe with a few close friends. But the kids seem to take up most of the time these days. We're fairly unorganized. We never really think about what we're going to do till the season's over. We have a lot of friends back west that we go and see. We don't get to see them all year. We both love water skiing and plan to do a lot of that. And other than that, I guess just live from day to day.
In between the time we get home and the time we get back, I hope to go fishing without my wife and hunting, and I don't know what she's going to do while I'm doing that, but that's what I kind of have in the back of my mind.
Getting away from it all is not the Tigers' approach to the game. A fierce competitor, his abrasive style keeps his opponents on their toes.
I'm going to check Bossy. Like, he's definitely going to be intimidated because he's a smaller player. Every chance I get to hit him, I'm going to hit him, and I'm going to hit him hard. That's just a job, that's a role. That's what I'm out there for.
Often a target himself, Tiger's aggressive approach has made him the Leafs' penalty leader. His league-leading total of 338 minutes last season came, not surprisingly, as largely the result of fighting.
The one thing is, well, I really believe if you're going to fight, you got to fight, you know, and you got to win. It's just like the game. Other than that, as far as, you know, penalties are concerned, I don't really get that many 2-minute penalties, and I know for a fact I don't get as many on my team as my other peers, because Roger keeps that stat.
Tiger's the kind of a player that sparks the whole team up, not just with his aggressive play, but he's perhaps the best player on the team for cutting to an open space in center ice. He's always very alert on the bench, and he knows everything that's going on all the time. Tiger's also able to go out and check the other team's top players. He can check them from the wing or even at center ice, and we've used him in both positions.
I've really enjoyed my year, and I've really enjoyed working with Roger. You know, some guys didn't like playing with, you know, different guys, but I enjoyed it, playing with different lines. One week, Sittler wanted me, and the next week he didn't, so I was fortunate enough that some of the other guys would let me play with them, and I enjoyed playing the different roles all the time. Roger gave me a lot of confidence. The only thing that I'm disappointed in is my goal production, and I fell in a slump, and I was really hoping for a 30-goal season, and I was going at that rate at Christmas time, and then since then I fell off. So I think it's been a good year, and I've really enjoyed it, and the only way to top it off is to get Mr. Stanley right here on the coffee table.
An aggressive and exuberant player, Dave obviously enjoys the physical side of hockey, but in a game where give and take is the code you play by, Tiger is capable of remarkable restraint.
An in-depth look at Tiger Williams of the Maple Leafs, who is patrolling his wing with authority tonight, as always, and has avoided any of the rough stuff that would cause penalties that you might think he is accustomed to, and certainly is the case during the regular season. The score is 1-1. The Maple Leafs and the Islanders at the end of 2 periods. Next, Scotty Morrison, NHL referee-in-chief, standing by with Brian McFarland. We continue with Stanley Cup 78 in just a moment.
Midnight is mystery. Midnight is excitement. Now midnight is Cougar, the Midnight Cat. In midnight blue and chamois, a bold new Mercury Cougar XR7 for 78 with deeply cushioned buckets, floor shift, console, and a padded tire deck. A new Cougar XR7.
Isn't this your year to join the cat set?
At the sign of the cat.
Fisher-Price presents
The Adventure People.
Daredevil Skydiver. Strap on their harnesses, pack their chutes, and they're up. The chutes pop open, but a gust of wind carries a skydiver away. Can he be caught in time?
The Adventure People.
The Adventure People Daredevil Skydiver. Each skydiver sold separately. From Fisher-Price.
In 1969, the world came to Seiko for the first quartz watch. Today, from Seiko comes the world's largest collection of quality quartz watches for men and women. Slim day-date styles, liquid crystal digitals, ultra-thin dress models. And now, a new quartz watch so efficiently engineered, it runs longer on one battery than any quartz in Seiko history. Seiko. Someday, all watches will be made this way.
Evinrude has all kinds of power to get you where you're going in a hurry. Whether you're in a hurry to catch your supper, or even in a hurry to catch something else, Evinrude gives you 17 ways to go, from 2 to 235 horses. Because some things in life are worth hurrying for, Evinrude gives you all kinds of power.
Well, this is a relatively tame hockey game compared to the one in Toronto the other night. And Scotty Morrison, referee-in-chief, it wouldn't be hockey without complaints about the officiating. Are you happy or unhappy with the caliber of officiating so far?
I'm very happy, Brian. I don't think the clubs have too much to complain about. I thought the first 2 games down here were extremely well handled. The Tuesday night game, one of the best playoff games I'd ever seen.
Are you surprised that it didn't erupt into more fighting tonight in this game?
Not really, Brian. I think they've got it out of their system. They realize now we're down to a 2 out of 3, and you just can't afford to take the dumb penalties and the fighting situations that went on the other night in Toronto.
Scotty, can you explain to us, when a goaltender leaves the goal area and gets in against the boards like he did tonight in this second period, the crowd, I think, is confused as to what happens when another player barrels into him.
Well, it's true that, he becomes another player, but the rule also says that the attacking players shouldn't make any unnecessary contact with him. And they're on Mike a little bit because he likes to roam. But just because he doesn't become a normal player that he can get knocked over simply because he leaves that goal crease.
A couple of times in the playoffs, Edwards in Buffalo the other night, Palmateer in Toronto the other night, have been challenged by forwards in the crease. There have been fights erupt between the goaltender. This could become, could it not, a game strategy, and what can you do about it?
Well, it can. The thing that bothered me, Brian, was that I was very concerned that it was becoming a game tactic in order to get one of their, say, top defensemen. Obviously, he's going to rush right in and become third man in, the same as Fogland did, the same as Boutet did. And I think that's something we're going to have to talk about in June. I don't know the solution right now, but I just don't want to see it develop into a tactic to get rid of a key player.
And how do you select your game officials for the playoffs, and how many do you have working these series?
We have 8 referees and 8 linesmen this year. That's one more referee than we've had before, and we're making a practice of the man that works, say, tonight's game. He stood by the other night. Now, Ron Wicks, or at least Dave Newell, is standing by tonight. He will work the next game in Toronto. When we get down to the Stanley Cup Finals, we will use 3 referees and 4 linesmen.
Well, all in all, I think your officials do a tremendous job, Scotty. I know it's not easy out there. I don't think I'd like to do it. And I know you had your run of it. You wouldn't want to get back in there, would you?
A little too old for that now, Brian.
Thank you, Scotty Morrison, referee-in-chief of the National Hockey League. And we'll return with Stanley Cup playoff action in just a moment.
Well, it's kind of hard to describe what makes you go there. 6 feet of snow or in spring you go, every time you get a weekend free. It's just a feeling you get from the very air you're breathing. Something that says you found it right where you want to be.
Well, in the summer there's swimming and sailing. In the winter there's ice fishing, skiing. In the fall you tromp around these woods and the colors are just incredible. There's always something different. And I don't care where you go, you won't find better country or a better beer.
So get the great taste, that's Canadian. Molson Canadian. All year round it's Canadian. It's your kind of beer.
There have been more Ford vans registered in Canada than any other make. And now your Ford and Mercury dealers have a wide selection of 1978 vans, all with Ford's out-front van design, all with a move-forward engine that gives you more move-around room inside. Ford's got them all, from hard-working business vans to Ford's freewheeling van and cruising vans that come already customized. There have been more Ford vans registered in Canada than any other make, and a wide selection to choose from at your Ford or Mercury dealer now.
CBC covers the Commonwealth Games August 3rd to August 12th.
The action continues in other venues in the Stanley Cup playoffs. We have Bill Clement watching the Buffalo at Philadelphia game. The Flyers have just scored to make it 4-1. In fact, while Bill was walking down here to tell us about the third Philadelphia goal and other highlights, let's pick it up where you want to start it. We'll end up with that 4th goal that appears to have cinched the victory for the Flyers.
Well, I'm glad I hurried back after our last intermission because no sooner had I sat down than 2 goals were scored within 14 seconds. The first one by Buffalo, who knotted the score at 1-1, and the Flyers came right back 14 seconds later and scored. Both goals were a result of glaring defensive errors, or shall we say offensive errors, since they were errant passes. The first one by Paul Holmgren of the Flyers, who stops in behind his own net, and just the cardinal sin, tries to clear it out right in front of his own net, and Terry Martin is there to stop it, and as he knocks it down, he's all alone in front of Perron, and he lifts one over Perron's left shoulder up into the net, or over his glove, rather. However, an athlete that he is, and a professional that he is, Paul Holmgren comes back 14 seconds later and scores on a Rick McLeish rebound. At least that's the way I saw it when I first looked at it. However, from another angle, we'll see that Don Edwards makes a tremendous poke check on Rick McLeish after McLeish picks off an errant Jim Schoenfeld pass. And as McLeish attempts to cut in front, Edwards makes a fine save but is out of position, and who's there but the man that gave away the Buffalo goal 14 seconds earlier, Paul Holmgren.
Okay, we're watching Selesky's goal now for the first time, and we wonder about this pass. Is it onside? Must have hit Schoenfeld, didn't it?
Well, it looked very close, but it's all history now, and Selesky goes in from a sharp angle and doesn't really get that great a shot off, but it looks as if it squeezes between Edwards' right arm and his body and into the far side of the net, and it is a questionable goal. It's one of Edwards' first in the series. He's been phenomenal.
Okay, that's about midway through the third period in Philadelphia. The Flyers up 4-1, apparently on their way to the semifinals. No way to pick this game here at the Nassau Coliseum. Still as close as it was in the first period, but we did have a couple of goals. I was watching from the stands and wondering how the Leaf goal went in. Credited to Turnbull. Sittler made the play into the crease. We can see it quite clearly here.
Well, I looked at it 4 or 5 times, and well, it looks like we're going to take a look at the Islanders' goal. You see here Brian Glennie making a nice block on a shot, but where does it end up? Right on Denny Pudman's stick, and by that time Brian Glennie's well out of the play, and with the shot that Denny Pudman has, he just walks into the slot. Just a tremendous shot into the upper corner. There's no way no corner two had a chance on it, but it bounced off of Glennie, having made a nice play, right back to Denny Pudman.
Okay, that made it 1-1, and this is the goal that opened the scoring by Turnbull.
Well, Turnbull makes a beautiful play. He actually makes the play. It's over to Sittler, who makes a nice feed back to Turnbull in front, and Resch makes the save, but as Pearson comes back to try and check Turnbull, it actually hits him from all of the angles that we looked at and goes into the net.
Controversial penalty on Bobby Nystrom. The Islanders killed that off. Mike Bossy hit a post earlier. It's another one of those games that really is going to swing one way or the other on one play. We'll be back here at the end, I'm sure, talking about the one play that decided it. Maybe we won't be back for a while talking about what decided it, with overtime always a possibility. Thank you, Bill Clement. Get back to Philadelphia, and we'll continue with the Leafs and the Islanders play-by-play, Bill and Brian.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Bill. You're right, Dave. No way to pick this one. Not yet anyway. And here's Bill Hewitt.
Okay, Brian, we're all set to go now with the Leafs playing short-handed. They've got Turnbull in the penalty box. He has 1 minute and 44 seconds to start the third period. It's shot down the ice by the Leafs. It goes back to Glenn Resch. Gives it to Stefan Pearson. Pearson behind the net. Islanders and the Leafs all tied up 1-1. Dennis Potvin at center, over the Gilly. Over the line, back to Potvin. He gets it over to Pearson. A shot! Oh, but here, stop that. Under Jimmy Jones, it was broke loose, but the referee had lost sight of it. And there's the second period summary. Turnbull at 110, Potvin at 13:39. The shots were even, 10 apiece.
Everything's even.
It's played by Bossy. Back to Dennis Potvin. A shot, and he missed. Comes back to the blue line. Kept in by Mike Gilly. His shot across the goal mouth. Comes all the way back out, and Jimmy Jones sends Jerry Butler to center. Takes his shot. Resch knocked it down. And Pearson has it now with 55 seconds left in the penalty and a 1-1 tie. Up the center for the Islanders. A long shot off the board. Trevor Johansson drives it down again. Going back for it is Pearson. Pearson back to the Islanders' net. Overskated it once. Now he gets it up to Bossy. Bossy, number 22, over the line. Stop. Back to Pearson. Pearson takes his shot. That's wide. Jimmy Jones went to the board, trying to hold it there. It comes loose. Bossy getting it behind the net. Gets it loose into the corner. Dennis Potvin checked by Jimmy Jones. And it's shot down the ice. 9 seconds left in the penalty. Quick pass to Dennis Potvin. Up the center. Over onto the right side for Nystrom. And it passed in for Dennis Potvin. Slides out. Ian Turnbull's got it. One man back. And Bourne got back quick enough to make the play. Dennis Potvin to Bob Bourne. Bourne over the line. Trying to break through the defense. And Randy Carlisle broke that out. Down with Ron Ellis. Over the line. A pass to Ellis. Shoots. And Resch stops that, holds on, and we'll have a face-off. From the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island, this is Stanley Cup 78.
Every time you mix a drink, you've got an 80% chance of doing a good job. See this? 4/5 of your drink is mixer. And no matter what you're mixing it with, that 4/5 is going to make or break the taste of your drink. That's why you should be using Canada Dry mixers for every drink you make. Because it's no secret Canada Dry makes better mixers. So don't take chances with taste. You can't lose when you use Canada Dry mixers. Anytime, all the time.
Facing off in the circle in Islander territory. Darryl Sittler at center with Williams on the left wing. Lonnie McDonald on the right. Randy Carlisle and Ian Turnbull. 1-1 tie in the third period. Eddie Westfall out there. All set to go. Puck in the circle. Westfall went down, but it came out over the blue line. Bill Harris coming to center. Gets it for Gary Howitt. Howitt shot it wide of the net. Rebound over on the far boards, and Williams sends Sittler down the ice. One man back. Lanny McDonald trying to catch up and was taken by Wayne Merrick. Merrick up at center. Pass to Howitt over the line. Shot the puck, and it goes over the glass into the crowd.
That's good back checking by Wayne Merrick. The Leafs had a 2-on-1 break. It appeared, and Merrick got back so quickly he intercepted the pass to McDonald. Merrick acquired from the Cleveland Barons. John Potvin traded to the Barons. Al Arbor shook his hand. There were tears in his eyes as he let Potvin go, and he took him in the corridor, and he said, "I hope we can be friends forever." I'm sure they will be. Potvin, John Potvin, and Al Arbor.
Wayne Merrick against Darryl Sittler. Sittler wins the draw. It goes to Carlisle over to Turnbull. Turnbull over the blue line. A long pass. Stopped by Jerry Hart. Intercepted by Randy Carlisle. He shoots the puck in. And it ends up at the side of the Islander goal. Jerry Hart, back of the net. Hart takes a look. Tempo of the game slowing down somewhat as the teams are even at 1 goal apiece and looking for that big break. Icing going to be called against the Islanders.
Here's Al Arbor. His team had 48 wins this year, 111 points, 334 goals in regular season play, second only to Montreal. Equaled or broke 31 club records. 19 more points than the Toronto Maple Leafs, coached by this man, Roger Nielsen, rookie coach of the Leafs.
Sittler with Williams. Lonnie McDonald, it's in the circle. Picked off by Dave Lewis, getting it to behind the net, and a shot up by Potvin at Westfall. And Eddie Westfall gets rid of it to center ice, and he heads for the bench. Dave Lewis waiting for his teammates to get on side. It's cleared in, goes into the corner. Lanny McDonald. A pass over on the left wing to Williams. Williams back for Pellick. Pellick moves over the red line, and he shoots it in. And it's Potvin back for it. Round on the board for Gary Howitt. Howitt at the blue line, up the center. Got the puck in. It goes around. Harris being watched by Sittler. Sittler then covered by Merrick. Came out in front of the net. Pellick knocked it off to the wing. Sittler and Merrick and Williams decides to hold it there.
Buffalo won't give up yet. They're fighting back against Philadelphia. It's 4-2 now as Derek Smith scores for the Buffalo Sabres. And here we are at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, sealing with the puck. Through to Derek Smith, and he just steers it past Bernie Perron. So it's 4-2, Flyers in front. If the Sabres go out tonight, I think you can rest assured that Punch Imlach will make some changes in that Buffalo Sabre lineup prior to next season. Now we are.
Provocation going on while we were looking at the replay. Howard and Lanny McDonald were mixing it up in the corner.
More talk than tangle.
3:58, Islanders penalty. Number 8, Gary Howard, 2 minutes for roughing.
Roughing penalties at 3:58. Delaney McDonald and Gary Howitt.
3:58.
Well, that means that the teams will play even at 5-a-side. Bob Bourne is coming out. So is Van Nystrom. Lewis and Potvin against Ferguson, Ellis, Johansson, and Turnbull. Ferguson got it behind the net to Turnbull. Ian Turnbull was hit hard by Nystrom. Go to the boards again, play is called.
Turnbull's playing the finest hockey of his career. And Nystrom has been a key man for the Islanders. Bourne and Nystrom have kind of overshadowed Trache, Bossy, and Gillies. When they throw Kazicki out there, that's quite a potent line for the Islanders.
I agree with you, Brian. I think Bob Nystrom has certainly been one of the shining lights for the New York Islanders, that's for sure. And Bob Bourne as well. Cleared out to center ice, tapped by Lewis. Lewis then for Bourne. Bourne trying to cut in. Trevor Johansson in a cover. Get up, put the Nystrom. And Nystrom was sacked by Turnbull at the last second as Nystrom tried to get around him. Dennis Potvin. Veering pass. Lewis then for Nystrom again. Turnbull's there. He shot it. Ferguson didn't get it. Here comes Dennis Potvin over the line. A shot! Volunteers stop that. And a rebound off the glass. Cleared to Ferguson. 3-on-2 with Turnbull. Over the line for Ferguson. Takes his shot. Easily handled by Glenn Rush. And the Islanders with Dennis Potvin. Up over the blue line. Up the center. Over to Nystrom. Nystrom hit by Glenny. And Trevor Johansson. In for Ellis. Ron Ellis getting a little skating room. Coming to center. And then just elects to flick it into the corner as they change on the go. Now it's Brian Trache. Nearly handed to Jones. Jimmy Jones has the puck. And Nystrom recovered. Nystrom getting it behind the net into Jerry Hart. A 1-1 tie. 14:28 remaining in the third period. Randy Carlisle drives the puck in. Back for it is Jerry Hart. Jerry Hart with a pass to Trache. Back to Hart. Over the blue line, up the center. Hart to the leaf line, and over offside with Frank Gillies.
Now Hart gets his stick up against Tiger Williams. Linesman there is Ron Finn. Got 14:07 on the clock and 5 seconds left in the penalties to Lanny McDonald and Gary Howitt. Another late one going tonight, mainly because of that 10-minute delay in the first period. Well, they did some repair work at the end of the rink.
It certainly hasn't been the knock them down, drag them out affair that they thought or were expecting. It's been a very, very well-played hockey game.
Well, as Scotty Morrison said, it does not surprise him. He thinks they got a lot of it out of their systems the other night.
This is playoff hockey. Shot caught by Mike Palmatier. Off to the side behind the net for Ian Turnbull. Over on the boards for Lanny McDonald. For Sittler. And that is intercepted. Trache checked by Darryl Sittler. Sittler back to Turnbull. Ian Turnbull. Long pass to Lanny McDonald. He shoots it in. Going after it is Maloney. Maloney. And the puck gets rolled around on the board. Jerry Butler out there now. Clark Gillies. Up the center, stopped by Butler. Butler in turn gets flipped it out over the blue line, and Bossy drives it back in again. Now they're changing as the puck hit the referee and bounces to center ice. Dennis Potvin, a pass up the center. Kazicki over the line. Stop. Passes it in front. Nobody there. And Trevor Johansson. A quick pass to Jerry Butler, center. He's over the line. He's getting around. He's dumped. Puck ends up behind the net into the corner. Maloney missed it. Islanders with Horn. Stopped by Johansson. And Glennie is knocked down by Nystrom. Back for Maloney. Down the left wing. Over the line. Still has it. Covered by Kazicki, who had him tied up. And Dennis Patvan behind the net. 12:37 remaining in the third period. It's a 1-1 tie. Dennis Patvan tips the puck in. Nystrom thought he had it, and it's Mike Pellick. Off the boards for Stan Weir. Dave Lewis getting it back to Pearson. Over to Lewis. Lewis comes up the center, drives the puck into the lead zone. It's behind the net. Left there, Jack Belicat. Belicat covered by Nystrom. And play is called. And again, they didn't call it. It's still going. Now it. Trying to get it loose. Comes back to the blue line. Jerry Hart gets it in front and shot. And that was stopped off Wayne Merrick. They were waiting for a whistle, and it didn't come, so they finally kick it. A good try by Wayne Merrick, and the puck is all the way back in Islander territory. That nearly started something. Offside at the blue line.
Jack Belicat, who came off the bench, was offside.
Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island.
The Magic Organ, a special album of 25 all-time favorites. This 25 all-time favorites album is in the stores now. Album $6.99, tape $7.99. The Magic Organ.
And there's the score, a 1-1 tie in the third period from the Nassau Coliseum. 11:34 and counting as the Islanders come to center. Long shot. Palmatier knocked that one. Is going to cover up and hold it with Wayne Merrick right there.
Well, I understand there's been another goal scored at the Montreal Forum, and Danny Gallivan and Dick Irvin are there. Let's find out who scored it.
Starting on the wing, goes to center with Jarvis. Gainey over the line. Gainey dropping it back for Nairop. There's the shot. They score! And that was the deflection. Nairop taking the shot, and that Canadian team ecstatic. Every man off the bench.
Back to the live action here as the Leafs bring the puck up to center ice. Over the line for Pat Boutet. Drops it to Ellis. He missed it. Boutet in for Trevor Johansson, and he missed it. And back come the Islanders. Howard knocks the puck into the corner. Ian Turnbull. Off the glass and out. 1-1 tie. A long shot. And it was cleared by Palmatier out over the blue line. Stopped there by Mike Bossy. Bossy hits Trache. It's over the line. Knocked out again, and Lewis recovers now for the Islanders. Over it goes to Dennis Patvan. He shot it in. That could be icing, and it is. Icing called against the Islanders. This is Stanley Cup 78 from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island.
If you're a one-brand beer drinker like myself, nobody's going to talk you into switching over to Molson Diamond just because a lot of the other guys are doing it. Not even when they tell you it's got a smoother taste than your brand. There's only one thing that's going to make you change your mind, and you know it. You got to judge Diamond for yourself. Like I did. So go ahead. You be the judge. After all, the other guys can't always be wrong.
Bill, what kept you so long?
All ready to go now in the Islander zone to the right. Show you the face-off circle. That's referee Ryan Woods.
Here's a shot by Williams. Right from the faceoff was wide of the net. Picked up by Clark Gillies. Gillies is going to the boards, and this time they hold it.
We have a final score just in from the Spectrum in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Flyers move on in the playoffs. They eliminate the Buffalo Sabres, winning 4-2 at the Spectrum tonight. Zaleski got the final Philadelphia goal.
Gillies over at the bench. Get a new hockey stick. 10 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the third period. A 1-1 tie. On the faceoff, Maloney back to Randy Carlyle. That shot goes into the corner. Maloney again, turned around by Lewis. Back of the goal. Islanders with a pass up to Dennis Potvin from Trache. Dennis Potvin, a shot off Carlyle and Glennie. Cleared by Maloney, but not out. It's kept Mike Bossy to Trache. Trache trying to center it. Maloney can't get to it. Gillies after it. Bossy back in the net. Trying to center it. Still loose. Comes out in front and down the ice. Williams. Knocked down by Mike Bossy. Back up for the Islanders. Long shot. Stopped by Palmatier. To Williams. He and Jimmy Jones along with Maloney. Intercepted. Over the line for number 21, Mike Kazicki. He passes it off the Jet Smith as Randy Carlyle took it off the stick. Carlyle a long shot, and that one bounced off the pad to Glenn Redge. Now it's Pearson to Bourne. Bob Bourne, stopped by Sittler. Then it's Bourne getting it again. Over the line to Kazicki. Back to Nystrom. To Jerry Hart. Back to Nystrom. Nystrom getting in front. Palmatier stopped that. That screen shot hit Sittler's skate. Trevor Johansson golfs it down the ice. And we'll have an icing. With the score, Toronto 1, Islanders 1. This is Stanley Cup 78.
Whenever 30 or more hungry people get together, let Colonel Sanders make everyone happy with his do-it-yourself buffet. Each person gets salads, bread, and 3 pieces of finger-licking good Kentucky Fried Chicken. Colonel Sanders do-it-yourself buffet. Fast, easy, and economical.
Give us 2 hours' notice, then come and get it.
Pick up Kentucky Fried Chicken in your neighborhood. Colonel Sanders and his boys make it finger-licking good.
Montreal has defeated Detroit 4-2. Jarvis got the winning goal and the final goal. That means Montreal advances to the semifinals, along with Philadelphia, 4-2 winner over Buffalo tonight. Lonsbury got the winner there. Boston already in the semifinals. It's all left to the Islanders and the Leafs for the 4th spot.
And from the faceoff, it goes to Jerry Hart. His shot knocked down. Harris gets the backhand, stopped by Turnbull. And Lanny McDonald digs it up to Valiquette. Up at center. A pass to Lanny McDonald. Takes his shot. Fresh stop that. And Valiquette missed the rebound. Played by the Islanders. Up to center right. Wayne Merrick. Gary Howard. Back to Harris. Harris at the side, trying to get it out in front, and Lanny McDonald has the puck. Lanny McDonald going down again. Takes his shot. Fresh stop that. Another shot. Rolls. And it's picked up by Wayne Merrick. Merrick of the Islanders. Up the center. And he flips it off the glass. Behind the net it goes. Trevor Johansson. And that one over to Valiquette. Back Valiquette to Ian Turnbull. Into the corner. Brings it up on the left wing. Puts it up to center. Valiquette goes after it. He gets the puck. Trying to come out in front. And he's knocked down, and it puck ends up in the corner. Ellis is there. They get a whistle and a face-off.
Strong skating by Valiquette. Don Whitman and Helen Hunt described the play in the Canadian Women's Volleyball Championships from Regina on CBC Sports Special this Sunday.
7 minutes, 20 seconds, and there you see Velikit.
Well, he's not the fanciest skater in the world, but he gets there, and he skirted past the Islander on that play.
And play underway. The puck out over the blue line. Eddie Westfall with it. Tried to hit Nystrom, and Pat Boutet comes up with it. Over to Glennie. To Pat Boutet. To George Ferguson. Ferguson is hit. Potvin and Ferguson bumping together.
Potvin may get the only penalty here as he ran Ferguson into the boards. Every penalty now a big one.
Then it's Potvin. With 6:58 remaining. Regulation time. This Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island.
What's a guy like me doing ironing shirts? It's not so hard. I got a GE self-cleaning iron that uses most tap water and flushes itself to help stop brown spotting. And a self-cleaning valve to help prevent clogging. Not bad, eh? Listen, if my wife can paint a wall, I can iron a few shirts.
Yeah, whenever the walls need painting.
The self-clean, too. Cleans itself to last twice as long as ever before.
Darling.
From Canadian General Electric.
George Ferguson going down the boards was high stick by Dennis Potvin at 13:02. There's the replay right up against the glass. So Potvin is in the box. The Leafs go to the power play.
Now this power play is Stan Weir at center, Maloney and Ellis on the wings. Lanny McDonald. Turnbull takes the shot, and that's tipped off to the side, and Lorne Henning drives it down the ice. Back for it, Ian Turnbull. Back to the net. Ian Turnbull a stand-up for the Leafs, and nearly handed it away. But recovered. Up to Stan Weir. Over the line to Ellis. Ellis shoots, and he's deflected it, and it's wide, and Resch covers up.
Oh, there's a lot of tension in this building now with 6:35 left in regulation time. Everybody looking ahead to overtime. Wondering about it anyway.
Quite a bit of time left yet. 6:35, and the Leafs with the advantage for another minute and 37 seconds. Dennis Potvin in the penalty box. So it's Darryl Sittler. Ellis, Maloney. Ellis passed it right onto the stick of Lorne Henning. Henning comes up slowly and then shoots the puck down the ice. Lanny McDonald. Starting to work his way out. Up for Sittler. Sittler couldn't get to it. Very hard. Then Lanny McDonald for Maloney. Back to Turnbull. Ian Turnbull. Over the line to Maloney. Maloney stops. Off the boards to Turnbull. A shot. They stopped that on a deflection.
Ellis was there, Sittler there. The puck was deflected. Resch, the goaltending has been superb tonight. They've had some tricky shots to look out for. One here, for example, on the last play. Screened all the way. Resch gets there.
Now Williams out there on the right side with Maloney on the left. Lanny McDonald and Turnbull. Jerry Hart's getting a new stick. Now he comes back into the action. Eddie Westfall ready to paint off, number 18. Sittler won the draw. Williams back to Turnbull. Turnbull took a shot. That's in front. Goes to the board, and it's cleared out by Westfall. It's going to be a penalty to Williams. He knocked down the Islander player, then he knocked another one down. Williams going to the penalty box, and he really hit Henning.
Resch all the way up to the center ice stripe. He's furious. Williams had been assessed the penalty seconds earlier. Resch now retreats to his goal cage. So there goes the man advantage to the Leafs. The trainer out there, Ron Waske, looking at Lorne Henning, number 10. 46 seconds left in Potvin's penalty. There's Al Arbor. Let's see if we can check it now. Williams knocked down. It's up. Gary Hart. Oh, he gets 2 minors. This could be costly to the Leafs. Tripping and slashing to Tiger Williams, a double minor.
Live from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island, the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Thank you. Al, a Lotto Canada package for Mother's Day. Isn't he a sweetheart?
He sure is. You could win up to $5,000 if your number matches one of the numbers chosen in the Mother's Day draw May 12th. You could win $1 million June 9th. You could win right now, instant money, up to
$500.
You gonna take me for dinner?
Oh, I could, but I won't.
You get 3 chances to win with one Lotto Canada package. Now, that's
my kind of lottery.
Thank you. Make it yours.
So Tiger Williams at 14-16 takes 2 penalties for tripping and slashing. And the edge goes over to the Islanders as Williams goes to the box. Potvin, remember, is still in there for 46 seconds. And you wonder how long the Leafs can hold off the vaunted power play of the New York Islanders. We'll know 46 seconds from now.
Teams are playing 5-a-side for 44 seconds and counting now as the Islanders with Marshall. Over to Jerry Hart. Hart ahead to Bob Bourne. Nystrom was checked. Here comes Ian Turnbull. Over the line, trying to get through the defense. He's too well covered. Jerry Hart lost his helmet. Down the right wing for Nystrom. Over the blue line, trying to go around Pellick. Pellick took him to the board. The puck comes loose, and it's played around to Pat Boutette. Up with Stan Weir. Over the line. A pass through for Weir. Weir is knocked down. The puck ends up behind the net. 9 seconds left in the penalty. To Dennis Potvin. A long shot wide of the Leafs net, ends up behind the goal. Trevor Johansson cleared it, but not out. Now then the Islanders with a shot. Palmateer stopped that.
Bob Bourne whistled that one at Palmateer. And now the penalty to Potvin is up. Williams has 3 minutes and 4 seconds to serve. The time remaining from the double minor. Manpower advantage to the Islanders. Here's a replay on that shot by Bourne, and my, how quickly Palmateer was on that. Moved on that.
Jerry Hart goes and picks up his helmet. 3 minutes, 4 seconds, as Brian has mentioned, the penalty. 4:48 remaining in regulation time. And the score tied 1-1. On the faceoff, comes back to the blue line. Pearson gets it into Gillies. Gillies takes his shot. That was off Glennie's ankle. They roll it in front, and it's grabbed by Palmateer.
And again, Palmateer comes up with a big stop. Now he wisely retreats from the goal cage. He said, I'm getting out of here. There's too much traffic. And I'm going to have to be a very busy man in the next 2 minutes and 53 seconds. The Islanders come close again. Bouncing puck off the stick of Johansson. The rebound comes, and Bossy is there. Greatest rookie scorer in history, and he couldn't put it past him.
And Brian, we can safely say this is what hockey's all about.
Oh, this is great.
All set to go, the puck goes, and they didn't drop it fairly.
Anybody who doesn't feel the tension, the pressure in here, the excitement of it all, just doesn't know anything about it. Never seen a hockey game.
All ready to go now. They lead short-handed. 2:52 left in Williams' penalty. A 1-1 tie. 4:36 remaining in the third period. Here's Pearson's shot, and Palmateer just got his pad in the way of that. Jimmy Jones flicked it, and it went off Dennis Potvin into the crowd.
Face-off remains in Leaf territory.
Billiken, keeping stats here, points out the advantage Toronto has had winning the face-offs. They've had it throughout most of the series, and they're winning most of them again tonight. Jones out there.
It's George Ferguson now, and Jones kept in by Pearson to Dennis Potvin. Potvin for Bossy. Bossy's jammed along the boards. The puck goes loose to Ferguson. Ferguson getting it up to center, flicks it down the ice. The Islanders have to go back for it. 4:12 remaining in regulation time. Islanders with a man advantage. The shot into the corner. Goes loose to Clark Gillies. Back it comes to Pearson. Pearson to Gillies. Gillies out for Bossy. Jones goes down. Right spot to Bossy again. Back to Pearson. Takes his shot. Right in front. Palmatier stops that. And again. They take a bang at it. Twice. 3 times. Oh, and they hold it out.
Incredible. The Leafs hold it out as the puck was bouncing all through the crease and did not get past Mike Palmatier, 29. Right in the middle of your screen, and he takes a deep breath on that one. There's Gillies bouncing puck high into the body. Where is it? Over the shoulder of Palmatier. Here comes Gillies again, and Trotier's there. So is Bossy off to the side. Puck comes over to Bossy. Can he get a stick on it? Oh, look at the open net he had, and he couldn't bring it out and put it through and up and over. Wowee.
Mike Palmatier is down.
Trainer Guy Kinnear comes out. He may have been shaken up.
A lot of traffic in that goal crease.
Well, let's see now. Here goes Palmatier. Trotier's taken out. Bossy off to the side. Oh, good save by Palmatier and the bouncing puck now. Johansson fell right on top of Palmatier. Caught him maybe with the thigh or the knee and falling on top. The loose puck underneath the Leaf players. We've got a minute 54 left in the double minors to Tiger Williams. Roger Nielsen getting up for a better view. George McRae, the backup man, has not seen action in this series, nor has Billy Smith of the Islanders. And Chico Resch. Tremendous goaltending by both men tonight, Resch and Palmatier.
Al Ivor looking on, and there's still a minute and 54 seconds, Brian, left in the penalty. And from the face-off, the Islanders, Ruzicki trying to get it loose, and Turnbull just holds it against the boards for a face-off.
Well, the Islanders had the pressure on. You wonder if that little break in play might have helped dispel some of that pressure.
Well, only time will tell with the Leafs really trying to hang on here. There's the time remaining in regulation time, 3:32, and from the face-off, Turnbull gets it to the blue line. It's out and in again, offside. 1 minute and 43 seconds in Tiger Williams' double minor remaining. Jimmy Jones, George Ferguson. Ryan Glennie, Ian Turnbull goes back. Turnbull goes back slowly, back to the net. Drives it off the boards and down the ice. Now we have Dennis Potvin. Very dangerous with the puck ahead to Bob Bourne. Bourne to Ruzicki. Over the line. Trying to go through the fence. It's rolled and shot down the ice by the Leafs again. Back for it. Lift up is Stefan Durson to Dennis Potvin. Over to Bob Neisman. Takes his shot. Palmatier stopped that. Roll right for the net. Ruzicki's shot. Comes back out over the blue line. And Butler nearly got it away, but Dennis Potvin gets it over the line. Gillies and to Dennis Potvin.
Dennis Potman shoots it right in front. Palmatier stopped that. Driven off the boards and out to center. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in regulation time. A 1-1 tie. The Islanders still on the man advantage. Over the line, a pass for Trottier. And nice one. Back it comes to Gillies. Gillies in for nice one. Back to Gillies. Over to Pearson. Back to Gillies. Here's the shot. Palmatier stopped that. Dennis Potman. Still with it. Takes his shot. That's deflected wide. Gillies. Back to Dennis Potman. Takes his shot. And that one is stopped. Comes back again. Efton Pearson to Dennis Potman. His shot. That hits a leg. 4 seconds left in the penalty. Nice one. Right foot Dennis Potman. Shot knocked down by Ron Ellis. Williams is out. And they've killed off the 4 minutes. And the lanes are called for icing at 1 minute and 35 seconds remaining regulation time.
Well, that was really something to watch here as Palmatier was under tremendous pressure from the Islanders. They held the man advantage while Williams sat out the double minor, 1 for tripping, 1 for slashing. 4 minutes in total, but there was 46 seconds of that knocked off because Potvin was in for that length of time. So for 3 minutes and a quarter roughly, the Leafs were able to hold off the Islanders. Now we're down to 1 minute 35 in regulation time. And it's a 1-1 tie, and overtime certainly a possibility now. Williams, you just don't want to take any penalties in a tight game like this. Imagine taking 2 of them. Could easily been the goal there.
And spectacular goalkeeping as you saw in all those replays by Mike Palmatier. Now then, Randy Carlyle. A pass to Sittler. Sittler out for Lanny McDonald. Now then, Randy Carlyle. Just Lanny McDonald firing the puck in. Ends up near the Islander goal. Cleared off the board. Not out. Randy Carlyle kept it in. Darryl Sittler's going to get a chance. He tried to pass it in front. The Islanders break it up. Gary Hart at center. Offside at the blue line.
Players up at their bench. Pellick, Ferguson. Pat Boutet leaning over. Sittler comes to the bench. 1 minute and 2 seconds left in regulation time.
Islanders win the draw. Less than a minute to go in the 3rd period. Goes up to center right. Gary Hart clears it offside. Wayne Merrick over the blue line in advance of the pass.
A week ago, Bill, the Air Canada flights from New York to Toronto were delayed momentarily because the people who refueled the planes were so intent on watching the hockey game on their television screens, they neglected their duties slightly.
Okay, up to the ice for Ian Turnbull. A pass for Lanny McDonald. Failed to click. Then it's cleared by Darryl Sittler in behind the Islanders' net. Going after it with Williams. It goes over out of the wing to Bill Harris. Harris gets it up at center to Merrick. Over the line for Howard. Merrick is covered. Lanny McDonald clears it up for Sittler. A race for the puck. Then it's Potvin getting it up at center right. Clearing pass to Merrick again over the line. Pass to Gary Howard. Howard drops it back. Sittler's there. Decked by Harris. Randy Carlyle back of the net. Off the board. Kept in by Dave Lewis. And Williams gets it out. Dennis Potvin shoots it in. And stopped by Turnbull. 3 seconds left. And there goes the horn. And we're going to have overtime. Sudden death. Now here's Dave Hodge.
Let's go downstairs now to Dave Hodge.
Well, as we go into overtime for the second time in this series, the second time at the Nassau Coliseum, everybody is trying to catch his or her breath, and I think you understand why. You're probably doing the same thing at home. Unbelievable series of events in the third period near the end. First of all, the penalty against Dennis Potvin, which seemed to take all of the sting out of the Islander crowd, if not the team. But the Islanders killed that one off, and then two minor penalties to Dave Williams when the Leafs had to play 3 minutes, 14 seconds, a man short. Great play in their own zone, some fantastic saves by Mike Palmentier, and I might say applause is due Ron Wicks for a couple of what you would call gutsy calls, and there was no doubt that both were deserved. Certainly Potvin high stick, and certainly Tiger Williams tripped a man and then slashed a man, and yet it does not decide the outcome of the hockey game. Overtime, there have been some great overtimes. We hope for one now. Let's look back.
Overtime. The word means tension, the kind of tension that exists in no other sport. And it means memories, too. The word means tension, the kind of tension that exists in no other sport. And it means memories, too. Let's flash back now to some great moments in Stanley Cup overtime. March 24th, 1936. The Detroit Red Wings and the Montreal Maroons took 6 overtime periods before Mud Bruneteau, a rookie who scored only 2 goals during the season, beat Lawrence Chabot to end the longest game in NHL history. It was 2:25 in the morning, and Normie Smith made 90 saves to earn his 1-0 shutout as the Red Wings went on to win the Stanley Cup. April 23rd, 1950. The underdog New York Rangers, with Charlie Rayner in goal, had battled the Detroit Red Wings to a 7th and deciding game in the Stanley Cup Final Series. And after 60 minutes of play, the outcome of the entire season would rest on one overtime goal. Here's your hero, Pete Babando, whose memorable goal gave Detroit its 4th Stanley Cup. April 21st, 1951. Inspired by the clutch net-minding of Turk Broda, the Toronto Maple Leafs captured the Stanley Cup. The final series with the Montreal Canadiens saw all 5 games go into overtime. The Cup-winning goal was scored by Bill Barilko on an assist by Todd Sloan. Barilko attained instant fame, but was killed in a tragic plane crash that summer. April 16th, 1954. The early 50s were great years for the Detroit Red Wings. Players like Gordie Howe, Ted Lindsay, Terry Sawchuk, and Red Kelly led the Wings to the playoffs year after year. But it was scrappy little Tony Leswick who provided this great moment in overtime. At 4:29 of overtime in the 7th game against Montreal, Leswick earned himself a place in NHL history. And Tommy Ivan wound up his coaching career with his 3rd Stanley Cup. April 23rd, 1964. The Maple Leafs faced elimination in the 6th game of the finals at Detroit's Olympia. Earlier in the game, Toronto's Bob Bond had been carried off the ice with what was later diagnosed as a broken leg. But with a shot of painkiller numbing his injury, the gritty Bond let fly with a blast from the point that eluded Detroit's Terry Sawchuk, and the Leafs went on to a 3rd consecutive Stanley Cup. May 5th, 1966, saw sophomore goaltender Roger Crozier do everything but handstands to keep the powerhouse Montreal Canadiens from burying his Detroit Red Wings. Largely due to Crozier's acrobatics, the Canadiens were extended to 6 games before Henri Richard was given credit for an overtime goal that was hotly disputed. Here it is again. Was it a legal goal? The ruling was yes, giving Les Habitants their 13th Stanley Cup. But the Conn Smythe Trophy went to Roger Crozier, the playoffs' outstanding player in a losing cause. April 24th, 1969. The NHL had expanded to 12 teams in 1967, and the new playoff format resulted in the East Division semifinal becoming the significant series. Here, Montreal faced a Boston Bruin team which was rapidly maturing into a powerhouse. The Habs were hard-pressed to eliminate Boston in 6 games. And it was Jean Beliveau who counted the series winner, the only overtime goal he ever scored in all of his 18 illustrious NHL seasons. Montreal subsequently swept 4 games from the St. Louis Blues to win yet another Stanley Cup. May 10th, 1970, the Boston Bruins, led by 22-year-old superstar Bobby Orr, won their first Stanley Cup in 30 years. Orr won 4 individual trophies that year, including the Conn Smythe for his spectacular performance in the playoffs. He culminated his storybook season with this overtime goal to defeat St. Louis and give Boston the cup, signaling a new era for the Bruins. Stanley Cup overtime. Tension-packed hockey where the end often comes when you least expect it. But the thrills, the disappointments, and the memories linger on.
In Game 2, which was every bit as entertaining a game as this one has been, Mike Bossy scored the overtime goal for the New York Islanders. He missed a great chance to win it in regulation time while the Islanders had that man advantage. Next, Brian McFarland will talk with Tom Johnson, the assistant GM of the Boston Bruins, who has a lot of interest in this series, scouting primarily at this point the Islanders. The score at the end of regulation time, the Leafs won and the Islanders won.
What would it take to get you to switch to a new beer? Like this one, Molson Diamond.
Well, how about if I told you that it's smooth, with a fresh taste? Kind of like a good draft. Convinced?
Of course not. You got to judge for yourself, right? Well, I did, and I like it.
Maybe you will, too. So why not give Diamond a try and compare it with what you're drinking now? You just might find yourself changing beers.
Love Songs, a 20-star collection of super mellow music. Paul Anka.
I don't like to sleep alone.
Diana Ross.
Do you know where you're going to?
David Soul.
Don't give up on us, baby.
Dan Hill.
Sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much.
Disc $6.99, tape $7.99 in the stores now. Love Songs.
The score here in the Nassau Coliseum, Toronto Maple Leafs won, the New York Islanders won. We'll soon be into overtime, and scouting this series for the Boston Bruins is Tom Johnson. And Tom, I've been quick to praise Tiger Williams all winter long when he does things well, but tonight, in the third period, taking a double minor, he really put his club in jeopardy. And just before that, I thought Dennis Potvin put the Islanders behind the 8 ball. What do you think?
Well, certainly. At that stage of the game, you see, earlier in the period, the referee hadn't been calling anything, which often happens in the third period of these games. He lets a lot of things go that ordinarily he wouldn't. But Potvin, well, I thought he deserved his penalty, but for high sticking. But when Toronto had a man advantage for 46 seconds, and then Tiger Williams takes that first penalty, then he takes that second penalty, well, he really did jeopardize his club. But fortunately for him, the defenders and Palmatier especially were capable of handling it.
Palmatier and Rescher played exceptionally well, and I really have to tip the hat to Palmatier under pressure there. I thought he came up with 2 or 3 really superb saves.
Well, he certainly did there, especially near the end of the game when in that shorthanded situation. Prior to that, his great save at the end, he made one where he came right across the net on his stomach and saved it from going in the corner.
All right, now a word about the Boston Bruins. They're safely in the semifinals, the first team to get there. Rather easy handling of the Chicago Blackhawks. Who do you predict will make the finals this year?
Well, naturally, I'm a little biased, but it's not determined as yet who, as everybody knows, who we will play. If Toronto prevails in this series, we play Philadelphia. If the Islanders prevail, then we play the Islanders. But I fully expect the way the Bruins are playing right now that we have a good shot at getting into the finals, and then a very good shot at continuing from there.
Okay, somebody just whispered in my ear, Tom, and they always like to ask this question. Who do you like to pick, or who would you pick as the possible overtime goal scorer?
I'd have to pick a scorer like a Bossy or a McDonald. I'm taking one off each team to show that I'm not too biased.
Do you think one team has the edge over the other, off what you've seen now?
Well, Not really. The Islanders had the edge at the end due to penalties, but I think it's been a pretty even hockey game. And unfortunately, when with this one-goal situation, that it could be a real fluky goal that wins it.
Talking to Don Cherry, the Boston coach, a few weeks ago, I said, do you think you have a chance of knocking off Montreal if you meet them in the Stanley Cup Finals? And he said, of course we do. Cherry has tremendous confidence and optimism. Do you share that?
Well, I share it, but I think we have to get there first. We still have a series to play.
Okay. And you don't really care who you meet in that one?
Not really. It really doesn't matter now. The team is healthy, they're well rested, and they're on their game right now.
We've been following the goal scorers, and O'Reilly is certainly having his greatest year ever, and Peter McNabb has scored some big goals. I just sometimes wonder how that big fellow scores so many goals.
Well, Peter is a natural goal scorer. If you notice, most of his shots are on the net, and he can shoot from pretty well any angle. Plus, Peter's very difficult to move from the front of the net, and with O'Reilly and Wensick making those plays for him from the corner, that results in quite a few goals.
And, of course, you've got Jerry Cheevers back, too, and he's always a money man when the chips are down.
No, really, Jerry is a great goaltender, but right now our coach, Don Cherry, has a choice of two goaltenders, both playing equally as well.
Graham and Cheevers. Thank you, Tom Johnson, for joining us. Stanley Cup 78 continues in just a moment.
Hey there on that garden swing, row with us. Hey there feeling like a king, row with us.
At Scotiabank, when you turn 59, you can become a Scotia 59er, and that means unlimited checking, a savings account that gives you an interest bonus when the cost of living rises, commission-free traveler's checks, and much more. Be a Scotia 59er.
Come to Scotiabank and grow with us, grow with us, grow with us, grow with us.
Introducing 15,000 miles of protection, 15,000 miles between oil changes, new STP motor oil. Here's the results of one test, a test to determine wear protection. After running STP motor oil for 60,000 miles with oil changes every 15,000, the average wear of the test car's camshafts was so low, it fell within the manufacturer's tolerance specified for brand new cams. New STP motor oil, protection for 15,000 miles. That's extra protection.
Ford Fiesta, with the secure feeling of control that's important in a small car. Fiesta, 0 to 80 kilometers in an average of 8.8 seconds. Road-gripping Michelin radial tires. The traction of front-wheel drive. And excellent gasoline economy. Fiesta, imported from Germany by Ford. Test drive Fiesta at your Ford or Mercury dealer today.
Overtime is coming up with the Leafs of the Islanders tied 1-1 at the Nassau Coliseum. This is Game 5 of the Stanley Cup quarterfinals. Another series ended in 5 games tonight. Bill Clement was watching Philadelphia dispose of Buffalo. Any last comments on that 4-2 victory by the Flyers?
Well, the offseason's officially underway for the Sabres. Despite a valiant effort in the third period, they really put a lot of pressure on the Flyers. But Bernie Parent was named the first star of the game, and that was a good selection because he was the difference tonight.
Pretty hard to pick out one highlight from the third period. You would have to go to the power play advantage that the Islanders held for more than 3 minutes, and I think the Mike Bossy chance was the best the Islanders had, and he doesn't miss too many, but Palmateer made just a miraculous recovery to get to that open net. We're going to try and show you this nice and slowly. Islanders power play.
Well, you're right. Palmateer is as agile as a cat in the net, and this replay will show what we're speaking of. The Islanders are moving the puck around rather effectively. You see the 4 Toronto penalty killers are in the box, and they move the puck around so that it moves over to Pearson, who dumps it into the corner. Mike Bossy gets the puck. They move it back to Pearson. They really do execute well. That's why they have one of the finest power plays in the league. The Pearson shot, Palmateer goes down, and here's where the scramble starts. Gillies gets a shot at it, and it hits Palmateer up high somewhere, and he loses it momentarily. Now you can see there's all kinds of traffic in front. Trottier has a chance at him. Here comes to Bossy now. And look at Palmateer come across there so quickly.
And there's still another chance there at the other side of it. Is that Trottier?
Yes, I think it is Trottier. But Palmateer coming from the left side of the net over to the right. It's just amazing. He got over there, and believe me, Mike Bossy deposits the puck rather effectively. Had he not arrived there, it could have been game over right now.
Psychologically, what does it do to the Islanders to have such a glorious chance to win it in regulation time and to fail to score?
I don't think it will affect them that much because they pretty well had constant pressure on the Leafs in the last few minutes of the period. So right now they're probably sitting there saying, "Come on, let's go. We have the momentum now. We will carry it into the overtime period and try and end it early." So I really don't think it will affect them, but we'll see.
Another question: does this overtime, suggesting perhaps that it could go long and take more out of these players physically, mean anything for the rest of the series? And I'm really specifying the Leaf defense when I say that.
I'm sure it might have an effect on them if the other teams are sitting around waiting for them, but right now that's so far from their thoughts that it's not even reasonable to speak of it because they are just looking to this overtime.
So are we. Thank you, Bill Clement. And now let's go to Bill and Brian McFarland, who will tell us about it.
Thank you, gentlemen. Overtime just about to get underway. This is the 6th overtime of the playoffs, and there were only 6 played all last year in 44 games. Here's Bill Hewitt.
Okay, Brian, and we're all set to start this first overtime. And the Leafs have Sittler, Maloney, Lanny McDonald, Turnbull, and Trevor Johansson against Pache, Bossy, and Clark Gillies, along with Lewis and Dennis Potvin. Back to Potvin. And they shoot the puck in. Turnbull after it. He touches it. Icing called against the Islanders.
The last 7 years of Stanley Cup playoffs, there's been only one game go into a second overtime period. That was last year on April 26th when Terry O'Reilly gave Boston a 5-4 win over Philadelphia at 10:07 of the second overtime period. 7 years, the past 7 years, including this one, there have been 44 games go into overtime.
Sittler, Lanny McDonald, Danny Maloney, Eddie Westfall for the Islanders. And Pache was not out of the circle. Now Sittler wins the draw. Lanny McDonald is down on one knee, covered by Pache. Goes to Dennis Potvin. Dennis Potvin over onto the left side. Was given a bump by Maloney up for the Islanders at center. A long shot off the glass. The rebound taken by Ian Turnbull. Turnbull along on the boards, but not out. Dave Lewis's shot. And that goes into the crowd off the glass, so they'll have a face-off outside the blue line.
The 2 netminders involved tonight. Mike Palmatier on the left, Glenn Resch on the right, just about the same in size and inability. They've been making some sparkling saves tonight.
Jimmy Jones comes out with Jerry Butler and Tiger Williams. Wayne Merrick over the boards now for the Islanders, along with Gary Howitt and Billy Harris, number 15. Back at the blue line, Jerry Hart and Stephen Pearson. We're in the overtime. 1-1 tie. First goal ends it. Clearing pass around behind the net. Stopped there. Ian Turnbull overskated. The puck went down. Got the puck around to Williams. Williams. A pass for Jimmy Jones over for Butler. Intercepted. The Islanders have it. Pearson to Jerry Hart to Pearson at the blue line. Up at center. A pass over the line for Merrick. Merrick going right in and goal! And he shot it over top of the net. Wayne Merrick was allowed to go right in. Trevor Johansson is jammed against the board, and play is called, and you can't come any closer to the net without scoring. Wayne Merrick.
That's when, if you have a sore hand, you forget all about it because you've got the one good chance. Merrick very nearly flipped it in. Watch. The Leafs gave him some skating room. Turnbull sprawls, and the shot rising over the net. Did it catch somebody? Merrick coming awfully close. On this angle, watch now. Merrick skirting Turnbull. Oh, that was close.
A face-off in the circle to the left of Mike Palmatier. Number 21 is Mike Kazicki. Out there with Bob Bourne and Bob Nystrom. Bourne going into the face-off circle with Pat Boutette. Goes back to Brian Glennie, back of the net. Glennie waits to Mike Pellick, around on the boards for Ron Ellis, up to George Ferguson, too far. Cleared by Pearson, back in again. Brian Glennie, around for Ellis again. shot it up to center right. Pearson has it off the board to Kazicki. Kazicki comes to the leaf line, gets over it. But Popechek went to the board. The puck is poked. It goes loose. Picked up by Mike Bellick. Up at center to Pat Bouchette. He shot it. It bounces, and it's gloved by Glenn Red. It ends up behind the net. Ferguson trying to get a hold of it. And it's brought out to center ice by Kazicki. Over the blue line. The puck goes loose to Ferguson. Ferguson over the line. Takes his shot. Resch holds on, and we'll have a face-off. There's Ferguson getting his chance. Resch covered up.
We'll have another line change. You recall that it was Mike Bossy who scored in the first 2.5 minutes of overtime in the second game of this series. And after the game, the Islanders said they were very loose in the intermission between regulation time and the overtime, laughing and joking and trying to figure out who might score the winner. So I'm guessing they were probably loose and confident in there a few minutes ago.
They played 2 minutes and 6 seconds of the first overtime. Eddie Westphal out of the face-off circle. Butchie comes in. Sittler to Williams. He shot it way wide of the net. The Islanders clearing it from Lewis up to Westphal. Westphal's pass to Butchie. Over the line, closing in. Passed it right in front. And it was knocked off to the side. Williams is given a bump. Ian Turnbull unable to get it out. Goes behind the net. Trevor Johansson off Lanny McDonald out to center right. Eddie Westphal right on the Lanny McDonald stick. Lanny McDonald got it over the line. Putsy, then over to Dennis Potvin. Up to Eddie Westphal at center. Westphal to Dennis Potvin. The shot was saved by Mike Palmetier up to Williams. Ahead to Sittler. Sittler over the line. Sittler back to Williams. He's going right in and goal. And his backhand was wide. Here's Ian Turnbull going after it. Resch couldn't get it out. Dennis Potvin over for Frank Gilly. Out it goes to center. Stopped by Trevor Johansson. He shot it back over the line. That's going to be icing.
Well, if Williams ever had a chance to redeem himself for taking those 2 penalties late in the game, that put all the pressure on the Leafs, it was a few seconds ago when his shot slipped wide of the corner after Sittler made a great dash to set him up.
Now the Islanders have Harris, Merrick, and Howitt, Pearson and Hart, Jones, Bouchette, Butler, Lenny, and Randy Carlyle. Ready to go for the faceoff. Randy Carlyle. Stopped by Howitt. Howitt is checked. Randy Carlyle gets it out. It's cleared by Butler to Pat Bouchette. He's grabbed all down, but Jerry Butler had the puck, and he skated off, and it's picked off by Merrick, who just shot it out over the blue line. Leafs just clear it back. Wayne Merrick to Jerry Hart. Over here to Pearson, up to Merrick. Merrick is checked by Glenny. Goes back to Jerry Hart again. To Pearson. Flips it over the line, into the corner. Randy Carlyle gets back first. Pat Bouchette shoots it down the ice. That's going to go over the red line. And that will be touched, and icing will be called again against the Leafs.
The old butterflies will be pounding away in the stomach of Al Arbor.
They played 4 minutes and 5 seconds now on the first overtime.
Roger Nielsen making a late change now. And Al Arbor counters with a late change of his own.
Ferguson at center with Maloney on the left wing, Ellis on the right. Mike Kazicki at center for the Islanders, along with Nystrom on one wing, Bourne on the other. Here we go. Very important face-offs in overtime, particularly in your own zone. Ferguson and Kazicki Waved out of the face-off circle. Bourne against Maloney. All set to go. They win the draw. Nystrom couldn't get a shot away at the blue line. And it was offside. It was out and in again. And, of course, there were 3 Islanders trapped.
This Leaf team, Bill, may be the best conditioned Leaf team of all time. Roger Nielsen stresses conditioning and fitness. You remember at training camp how much he put a conditioning program into the training camp routine, and it may pay off for the Leafs now, months later. We'll wait and see.
Dan Weir out there at center now as Dennis Buffman. Shot it back in again. Ryan Glennie around on the boards. It goes to Ellis. Ellis. A pass intercepted. Nice one then lost it to Glennie. Carlisle up to Maloney for Stan Weir. And that's broken up. Bourne goes down. Picked up by Ellis. Couldn't get it. Randy Carlisle kept it in. It goes into the corner after Maloney and Stan Weir. Stan Weir was given a belt. And Lewis and Maloney mixed it up. Backward in a spot band. Poke check by Randy Carlisle. Shoots the puck in. Glennie goes after it. Ryan Glennie to Randy Carlisle. Up to Maloney. Up the center. A pass to Stan Weir. Took the shot. Trying to get another one. And it's broken up and back by Trache. With Gillis and Nystrom. Back to Trache. Trache trying to roll it and start Gillis. That's the puck behind the net. Right at center to Jan. Lanny McDonald for Stan Weir. Rolled it out and down the ice. Back is Stephen Pearson. Long pass for Nystrom. Over now. Ryan Glennie was checked. Here's straight set to Nystrom. And Palmatier stopped that. And an errant pass nearly cost the Leafs, but a great save again by Mike Palmatier.
And again, Trache is frustrated. Trache sets up Nystrom. Look at this quick play. Nystrom through, and Palmatier steers it aside. Fans will be helping the referee try to officiate now, but no matter. If there are penalties called, they're going to be well earned in this overtime.
This is NHL hockey at its best. Cleared into the corner, around behind the net. Trevor Johansson flipping it up for Williams. Williams off the board to center right. Pearson to Jerry Hart. Got the puck into the corner. Dave Williams. Flips it up for Darryl Sittler. Lanny McDonald is loose on the right wing. He gets the pass. Here's the shot. And that was hard and wide. Here's Sittler. Right to Williams. He's ready to go. The puck is loose. They hit the goal post. They bang at it. That one went off the post. Sittler couldn't get it. Now he's got it again. Pass it for Williams. And the Islanders definitely get it out. Oh, that one was right off the post. Woo! Icing called against the New York Islanders.
Oh, the crowd is buzzing over that one. Sittler and Williams teaming up. Let's catch that again while we have another line change. Sittler, Williams, couldn't get good wood on it. It dribbles into Glenn Resch. That's lying there loose off the goalpost by Lanny McDonald. And Resch tried to grab it. He missed. There's Turnbow cruising in. He couldn't backhand it in. Resch scrambling to his feet. All kinds of wild action around Glenn Resch. Lanny looks down. Oh, how close he came.
Ferguson, Butler, and Bouchette. Ferguson trying to get loose. The two-up coverage, and it's cut back into the corner. And it's cleared out on the left wing. Now it's for Westfall. Intercepted by Pat Bouchette. Bouchette trying to get it over the line, and they were taking it in as Pat Van for Dave Lewis. Lewis, the pass over to Pat Van. Pat Van at center, over the Leaf line. Poked it into the corner. And it's Mike Pellick. Pellick covered. Merrick centered it. A shot. Oh, and Palmatier stopped that one. Oh, he was down. Perfect setup. And somehow he stopped it, and everybody in Long Island is shaking their heads. They can't believe that one either.
Everybody jumped about 3 feet in this building. You could hear the building shake and tremble. Maybe this is a good time for makes you go into contract negotiations. Boy, I don't know how he kept that one out at all. Well, how much longer can they go before somebody breaks it open?
What chance? There's the time remaining in the first overtime. 13:06. Just how much further this is going to go, that's going to be determined, I guess, by the goalkeepers where they're playing it. All set to go. They've had their chances. Palmatier to Brian Glennie. Glennie now starts to come out. A pass ahead to Ferguson. Over for Belichick. Got it over the line. Knocked back out. Dennis Potvin has it at the blue line. Up at center. A pass over for Howard. Pokes it into the corner. Randy Carlisle after it to Jack Belichick. Belichick to Randy Carlisle. Into the corner, Ron Ellis. The puck comes loose. Still loose along the board. Comes out to Belichick to Brian Glennie. Glennie fails to get it out. Now Randy Carlisle, and it's paid by Belichick to center right. Dennis Potvin stopped by Belichick. Then Potvin gets the puck. He's given a bump by Carlisle, and it's shot down into Islander territory, and going back is Dave Lewis. Back of the net. Got it up. Stopped by Stan Weir. Stan Weir for Ron Ellis. Ellis is knocked down. Back comes Nystrom. At center. Over the line. He's got it around going in. He scores! All over. Islanders win it. Look at this game. 2-1. Nystrom. Brilliant rush down the wing. Look at Glenn Rush. One happy goaltender. Give Nystrom credit. What a move he put on Johansson, I believe it was, in the Leaf defense. What a shot to the corner. Nystrom's the biggest hero in the state of New York right now. Oh my, those Islanders are happy as they leave. The Leafs are already gone. Now Albert waiting for the last of the players to file on. There's the hero, Bob Nystrom, 23. Drilled one past Palmatier. What a heartbreaking defeat for the Leafs and Palmatier. But one club had to lose it, one had to win it. The Islanders came through. They lead the series 3-2. Here's the replay. Watch the rush up the right wing. Here comes Nystrom, 23 at center ice. It was Glennie he went around. And then the shot. Just inside the goalpost. A brilliant shot by Nystrom. A great play by the Islanders. A clean goal wraps it up. And it's a final. Islanders 2. The Leafs 1 as Glennie backs in again on the replay through the legs. And the winning shot by Nystrom. It's all over the Nassau County Coliseum. Once more, let's watch this rush. This was the winning goal. Bobby Nystrom and Brian Glennie, who played such a strong game tonight, and on Thursday night is out in left field on that deke. The shot to the corner, I don't know if it caught a piece of the stick or not. Looked like a clean shot, and that was the winner. And so the final score, the New York Islanders 2 and the Toronto Maple Leafs 1.
I think I'm going to leave this on. What do you think? Joyce would kill you. Every year I take it off before we go home. Here.
You keep rubbing it, you're going to wear it off.
Come on, give it time, eh? That's not so bad. No.
It's been the same deal for years. Clean up the cottage, share a little Molson Export, grow another beer.
Guys, just quit hassling me. Hand me a beer, will you?
It's in the cabin.
Molson Export Ale. It keeps on tasting great.
Well, that's a drink that is well earned by Bob Nystrom, who scores a great goal with all of the chances that were missed in regulation time and then in In overtime, you wondered whether it might be something totally fluky. It was anything but that. Bob, I hope we get a chance to see it again. I know you'd like to explain what you were thinking, and you almost lost the puck. You said I'd like you to tell the viewers exactly how that happened, and as it comes up, perhaps we can get into the play. We can do that right now. Bob, let's take it from the beginning.
Well, there was a man taken out at our end right there, and I picked up the puck, and I just started skating down the side boards, and I knew I was going on Glennie, and he's such a super checker that I felt that he would try to play me to the outside because I've been going outside. So I shifted a little bit to the outside, and I put the puck between his legs, and just when I got control of it here, it sort of bobbled on me. And I just got a chance to look up, and then I just fired it just before the other defenseman came over. And luckily enough, it went in.
Now, you trying for the short side?
Yeah, he was just coming over. You know, I think that there was another player going up with me. So I think he was playing it in the middle a little bit, and he was just coming over on me, and I just shot it in the short side.
The play here was to put it between his legs, right?
Well, yeah, on Glennie, yes, because he sort of lunges to the outside, and so I just shifted a little bit to the boards, and then I pulled it between his legs. But I was happy to get her. I'll tell you.
It was some game. I don't know whether you can appreciate how good a game it was by playing in it, but it was every bit as good and maybe better than the second game here when Mike Bossy won in overtime for you.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this has been some super series, and I think that, you know, the first two games we won and everything, but I sort of had a feeling that it would be a lot tougher than the first two games, and I'll tell you, the Leafs have put up some fight, and it's going to go right down to the end, I think.
How important was winning this game? And I know that sounds almost silly because it was important to win this game, but do you think that had you lost a struggle such as this, you could have come back into Toronto? And what does this do to the Leafs? I mean, how much of an advantage do you have now going into the Gardens?
Well, it was really important for us. I mean, there's no doubt about that. This is our home ice, and I feel that home ice advantage is a big thing in the playoffs, and if we would have lost it, I think going back into Toronto, we would have been a little bit down, and you know how well they play in Toronto. I mean, they're forcing and they're taking the body, and they're just playing excellent. And I think it would have really been a down for us, and I'm sure they would have come up flying.
Bob Nystrom, congratulations on a great game as well as a picture goal to win it.
Thank you very much.
Bill Clement, our analyst, has sat through all the exciting moments here. We should talk about 3 stars, and we should mention that we picked a Leaf as the #1 star.
We sure did. I think without Mike Palmateer, we all agree that the Islanders could have salted it away a little earlier, but he held them in there with his agility and his just tremendous desire in the nets, and kept the Islanders on the ropes until Mr. Nystrom put that tremendous move on Brian Glennie and went in and short-sided it.
Star #2, Dennis Potvin, who directs the Islanders. You can see it in every game. He had great help from Stefan Persson. When neither of those players was on the ice, the Islanders were in some trouble in terms of getting some offense, and that man, Bob Nystrom, is the 3rd star for the winning goal and for everything else he did tonight. Elsewhere, Montreal wraps it up over Detroit. The Philadelphia Flyers, by the same score and the same series margin, eliminate Buffalo. So this is the only series still going, and we'll have Game 6 Thursday night at Maple Leaf Gardens, 8 o'clock Toronto time. Please be with us, and good night from Long Island.
Live on CBC, Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Ford of Canada, on behalf of Ford and Mercury dealers from coast to coast. Ahead and participating retailers and record companies in Canada. The Bank of Nova Scotia, with nearly 1,000 branches across Canada to serve you. Molson's, brewers of Molson Export Ale. This program is protected by copyright and is intended solely for the entertainment and enjoyment of the viewing audience. Reproduction by any means, in whole or in part, without the expressed written permission of Hockey Night in Canada, is prohibited.
two is actually two amazing machines in one. These machines, in seconds, will chop, grind, slice, shred, or mince almost any kind of food. So you can make simple or gourmet meals very easily. These machines are so inexpensive and so fast. It's hard to believe, but it's true.
The Sea Gypsies, a modern family shipwrecked on the edge of a primitive...